Welcome, everyone, to the Faded Connections Path of Exile Community Podcast, episode number 30. I'm here tonight, as usual, with my co-host, BalorMage, and we're joined by two guests who we want to talk some Path of Exile with. So, without further ado, say hi to SlipperyJim and Baker.
Hi.
Welcome, guys. And because I don't want to say anything wrong, right? Like, I could have prepared, like, I have a plethora of knowledge, of course, about my fellow PoE streamers, as always, but I don't want to say anything wrong. Don't want to put anything into the wrong light. So will you quickly give us an introduction so that I don't have to embarrass myself and tell the people what you think they should.
Baker first.
All right. Yeah, of course. New people always on the spot. Baker, what do you want the people to know about you?
Oh, well, that's a good question. Well, I played PoE a lot in beta, and I took a quite long break and just came back like 3-4 leagues ago. So my knowledge of the new acts is still a bit rusty. But yeah, I'm trying to learn as fast as possible.
3-4 leagues ago? Like in Legion?
I played
Or
Legion. No,
Synthesis?
actually, I came back like in Delph League, but I only played the last month of it, kind of. Got to 99, and then I was like hooked again. And
What?
then I took
also
another
got
break.
to 99 in Delph. Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a good league. It was a damn good league. And then like Synthesis was not that great for me, but yeah, also played a lot because there was still a lot of new things, right? Like everything was still new. And yeah, Betrayal was amazing. I don't know why, but I really liked it. And the last few leagues were also amazing. Metamorph was my favorite, I guess.
Oh, wait, so
lately.
I just wanted to really quickly pinpoint when you've been, like, when you came back. So was that during Delph or before Delph already? Did you play
During
Incursion?
Delph? No.
Okay.
No idea about that. I just learned that when Alpha was introduced to everything. Like, I mean, that
With Betrayal,
yeah. Yeah, when she was back. Same with the Bestiary.
Yeah.
So Menagerie is my didn't know before. So that was a lot to learn in Betrayal for me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's probably why I liked the league.
You like
Glacier itself wasn't that great.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you, SlipperyJim, when did you come back to Path of Exile? Oh, wait, you never gone?
I started playing in Talisman in hardcore when the mentality was play hardcore or die. And I died a lot, and then I quit because hardcore sucks dick. So whoever plays hardcore, go fuck yourselves. The mentality of playing hardcore only is so toxic, and I hate it, which is why I'm toxic to you now. And I quit for like a year, and I came back and I played softcore, and since then I haven't stopped playing. And I don't know when I came back. I think I skipped a year. So whatever a year after Talisman was, I think I came back right before Ascendancies became a thing. Maybe, I don't know. You can like spy on people's profiles to figure out when they play. I do that when I'm like giving away free stuff to make sure they're not like standard scammers, because that's been happening a lot recently. But yeah, I just do stupid stuff so you don't have to. That's the gist of it. I shouldn't, and I'm gonna try not this league. So if you want to see stupid stuff, don't watch me, but watch someone else. But I'm gonna try actually play the game this league. It'll be fun, maybe.
That's some bullshit. You're gonna do some stupid stuff.
Oh, I'm gonna do some stupid shit for sure. I have a mate who hates this game, and I'm gonna force him to play it with me until he hates me as well. So we'll see.
That sounds good.
Yep.
How about you, BalorMage? How have you been? We usually don't even do an introduction for ourselves, but like, you should maybe say something. What have you been up to?
I mean, other than crying
About brands,
which we'll get to. I'm just at this moment I'm channeling Reddit about the brand nerfs. Like, this is I am now the embodiment of the Reddit that I once hated. I'm just gonna do nothing but complain about brands.
What a bitch.
That's it. But
I want to play my walking simulator.
Which is so good though.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
It's almost like they balanced stuff. Wow. Who would have thought? I
Don't
looked
even
at
get
the
me
patch
started.
notes or whatever. Not the patch notes, the generic changes of everything we know so far. And I read the brand section. I'm like, didn't they always work like that? No, they apparently have been overpowered and broken the entire time, and now they're getting tuned, and you're complaining.
Except they've
They're
never
getting-
been broken, just Archmage.
Oh, they've never been
Archmage
broken.
was the only problem.
Just kill the entire screen without effort. Oh.
They're getting what we like to call the occultist treatment, because I remember that occultist got like really, really gutted from all sides at a certain point where they were like, okay, no, we're taking all the energy shield interaction away from the class, basically, like, except for the little bit of stun immunity and regen.
Until only Vortex was left.
You've started me now.
No, let's get into that in just a second. Let's before we talk about the details.
It's like pulling the cord on a mower. Like, I'm started now. I just start cutting this grass.
Just warm up for a little bit as we talk about the first reactions and thoughts to the announcement. So on Tuesday night we got the announcement. This time coupled with a Q&A interview hosted by Ziggy D with Chris Wilson, the CEO of Grinding Gear Games, and I don't know, is he still lead developer? Does he still officially wear that title? Like, because
I don't think so.
it's in the trailer video, it always says developer commentary up next, and then it's Chris Wilson. So I'm like, okay, well,
I don't know.
He's probably gotten to the point where he's an ideas guy and doesn't have to touch any of the code, which is why he always has the generic idea of what's happening. Probably because he's like the overarching boss that always has to have his finger in all the pies kind of thing, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's fine, but he doesn't really know how stuff works. But if anytime anyone asks him a question, he's like, here's what I know based on my knowledge of 3 weeks ago, but I actually didn't code it myself, which is probably the best place you could be as a gamer. Just picking stuff and making, like, having like an army of 200 people, 300 people make it for you. Oh, living the life.
and what they did with an army of 300 people is basically make a new poppy colored league with a female NPC who brings us another mini game that is basically like from its very origin has nothing to do with ARPGs. How do you feel about that? What was your first reaction, Slippery?
Tell me how you really feel. Jesus. That was a burn and a half. I don't know.
What? No. We're commenting on the Chris Wilson Q&A stuff. So now I want to hear your opinion about the actual league.
I woke up. I missed the announcement and I missed the live reactions to Ziggy's thing. And I went into my Discord and someone had renamed the Delirium channel to Harvest, and I thought they were fucking with me. But turns out it's actually called that. What the fuck? I don't know, man. It looks good and bad at the same. It's not a league. It's like a expansion they're trialing as a league. You know, it's probably just like, here's the shit we want to try in currency form, but if we give it to you as currency form, we can't take it away. So let's put it as a league, and then we'll take anything that you like from it and put it into the game as crafting options, and then just scrap the league altogether, kind of like filler thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. It looks fine, but the fact that there's nothing in maps apart from a box seems a bit trivial. But if you have like timed mechanics, like, oh, you just leave the game AFK online for 20 minutes like Black Desert, then people will hate it, you know? I don't know. I think the passing of time by touching seed cache is a little bit bullshit. But apart from that, it seems fine. I like it. It's a farming league.
Yeah.
Farming.
Yeah, Baker, what do you think about the idea of growing your own monsters in your little hideout grove thing?
I love it. I mean, the thing is, basically Reddit has been crying for a performance and, optimization league for ages, right? And
Yeah.
I feel that's exactly it. Like, we get some side content even. That's pretty nice. You don't have to do it, really. I don't think you lose out too much since there's no loot dropping insanely, I think, at least from what they said. And yeah, crafting is nice, so it's good for SSF, for a lot of people that wanted to try SSF already for ages. And then we got Vulcan, right? So I guess that's going to be ready for the league. And maybe doing the performance stuff that everybody was looking for. So I do like the idea.
I haven't really thought about it like that.
Wait, there's 2 beer and we're 4 people. How does that work?
We're gonna share. 'Cause otherwise,
Oh
we're
my
too
God.
drunk. They're big. They're German bottles, half a liter. In the Netherlands, you only get 330 milliliters and 250 milliliter beer bottles. Everyone has
true.
his own bottle, but here, like the big ones, the German beer culture.
The regular
right? You go-
ones, you mean?
I think it's a little bit adorable that he thinks half a liter of beer is a big one.
Well,
That's
after,
fine.
after living in the Netherlands for 7 years, it is, yes. Because it's like, it's engraved in my brain now. When I hold the bottle, it's like always, oh, that's harder. That's more heavy than a regular beer. Anyway, like
alcohol.
to
Fucking
connect
Balor.
to connect back
Right.
to what Baker said, I didn't even think about it like that, honestly. For me, in the first place, it's like a league that combines aspects of incursion, bestiary, and blight in my brain. It has nothing to do with blight, but it's like I said, female NPC who brings you a mini game. It's like the
Yeah,
trailer,
I thought
the
the same.
appeal is the same, right? The way that the voice comes in, the music comes in. It's creating a very similar vibe. You like branch away a little bit from the ARPG. But yeah, I haven't thought of it in terms of, hey, it's actually like a not so super deep league mechanic that is probably easy for them to do. Looks great, but it's not that overwhelming like Delirium or Blight in terms of probable performance problems and like just adding a whole bunch of extra stuff to the map. It's moved away a little bit from the bloat.
Yeah, I think it's a small leak this time compared to like bigger updates. As Chris also said, like the next one will be huge, kind
Chris
of.
said that the next one is huge budget, but he also said that this one is a big expansion, right?
Yeah, I think you're
No, I
underestimating
think he
how
was
big
talking
of a
about-
difference this will make.
The complexity of synthesis with the non-complexity of prophecy. It looks simple, but it's deep, probably, right? With the amount of crafting they're claiming having, capable, etc.
I think it's not gonna be as hard though as it might sound right now, because I think most people are thinking of synthesis when it's about crafting, but this time you actually see what's happening. You know before you even plant the seed what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Most likely.
So we get good crafting without any of the absolute garbage bullshit we had to deal with in synthesis.
That's what I think, at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or hope.
It's going to be way better. I'm on board.
Nice.
Like, yeah.
That's why I'm
like,
hyped, man.
I'm pretty happy about it.
So you're looking forward to the patch?
Well, I don't know how much I particularly enjoy the idea of growing a garden. Like,
Have
I
you
don't
seen a
think I
thing that's
care.
like-
And I
it's
think it's
like-
incredibly weird that there's not a pack of mobs for me to kill to get the seeds. But
There is.
no, there's
there
no
not?
mobs in the map at all. None. You just click a
one
seed
of
cache.
one of the clips had like a weird pack of mobs around. Maybe I saw something stupid.
I think you
Maybe
imagined
it was
it.
just map mobs.
Yeah. There's no mobs in the map, which I find a little bit weird. But I'm super excited for all the crafting stuff. So I'm also super excited for League starting with the Vulcan client.
Oh yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
oh my lord, that has been a life changer. Like, it's basically like I'm playing a different game now. I know it's not working for everyone yet. I know there are some people and some graphics cards that like they change over and it crashes, or they just get constant tearing as soon as they go to it. And like, there are definitely still some bugs to get worked out. But if you're one of the people that it's working for, oh, it's so much better.
It's a straight
Oh
up
my God.
improvement. It's so good.
Yeah.
How's it
like,
for you guys?
I got my Spark build, my Spark Mr. Harold man, who's like 700x and immortal because Herald stacking is OP. Took him into 100% delirious tier 17, found 2 allies cannot die packs with about 200 mobs on my screen, and then popped Val haste and spammed Spark into the entire group of allies cannot die and didn't drop a frame.
That's crazy.
Oh, I
It's
still
a
had massive
completely
problems
different
with.
game.
I had massive problems with other allies can't die still with Vulcan. And I
Did
had
you?
in Delve, I had a like almost complete freeze where I logged out because I almost died. And
I had nothing.
I had like 2 freezes with other allies cannot die that were really severe. But other than that, like straight up, everything's better.
Have you been getting like memory leaks or whatnot?
I
don't
think
know.
so. I think my
It's like
performance, the
you
performance of my
do-
client drops over time, and like
Yeah,
after
about
3-4
every-
hours, I have to
4
restart it.
hours.
It's like
Yeah.
4 maps for me. Like
I have to
4 maps
restart
and I
after
have to
every
restart.
simulacrum, actually.
Ugh. Yeah.
I
And
don't know
Vulcan-
why,
every-
but that happens.
Yeah, about every 4 hours on the Vulkan client, I need to reboot it, and it's sudden too. Like the performance drop of whatever that
Every
memory
map
leak is
I lose like
sudden.
half my FPS.
Yikes! So look, it's still in beta. It's still got some fixes
That's
to
just
do.
without Vulcan as well. I don't know. They did
Yeah.
something fucky.
Right. Well, there's
Something I was going to bring up and I completely
I'm-
forgot.
It's so good though. So good.
And Chris really hyped me up when Ziggy in the Q&A asked like what's the performance improvement potential, because Vulkan is still in beta and there's still a bunch to come. I remember Chris especially talking about, like, he compared it, he likened it to squeezing blood out of a stone with DirectX versus picking up gold from the ground with Vulkan now, because there's just so much that they haven't done yet with Vulkan in terms of optimization versus DirectX. So he was even talking about something that I wrote down as a dynamic particle count reduction. So basically, like the dynamic resolution, when there's a lot of stress on the game, it reduces the resolution. In the same way, they're gonna do like a dynamic particle count reduction. That particle effects that overlap a lot, and there's a lot of particles that are basically not needed for visual quality, that just make it worse and perform worse, that they get like toned down a little bit.
Yeah, it's like
So that-
killing.
Yeah.
That was
like
actually
typically-
great.
It's like the same way that Legion monsters, like if when you open a monolith and you're in a map, all the ones on the side of your screen are still rendered. That's why like the Ice Nova and shit was big brain, because you're still killing mobs that you can't see. Typically when you play PoE, like mobs only spawn like half a screen away kind of thing. That's like draw
Balor is looking so sad because he won't be able to do that with brands anymore.
Well, it's like draw culling. So it's like typically games and stuff, they like turn off shit so your graphics card doesn't render. That's like draw culling for like multiple particles on top of each other. Basically, if you have 100 people standing on top of each other, you only really need to render like 3 of them before you don't get any extra information. So it's like if you have big brain fucking 1,000, like in that ExileCon talk they did where they summoned like 3,000 projectiles for a bow skill or something, and it took billions of hours to calculate it moving like 10 meters or something like that. If they were all not in a nova but like shooting in one direction, you only have to render one of them. That's like basically that. So they're just saving FPS. It's really good. I like it. Vulkan, the difference between Vulkan and DirectX is like, hey, we're Microsoft and we wrote a library of code that you can use to make games work. Cool. And Vulkan's like, hey, we're not Microsoft and we wrote a library of code, and if there's something in here you don't want, you can just make it yourself and submit it, and now it's in there for everyone. So it's not like it's just magic and fixes API. Like it's not like it just makes everything better. It does, because they're making it for the developers in mind, whereas Microsoft are making it to make their platform. Doesn't matter. It's like if there's a problem that they've been trying to fix and they can't because Microsoft are bitches, they can fix it with Vulkan. They can write their own code and submit it to the library. And so this shit that they're like making the game better with might not necessarily even be in the Vulkan API, but now it can be because of how open source it is. Does that make sense? Have I lost you?
Right.
You lost me at some point, but
I'm sorry.
But you raised the question in me. I didn't think about that before, but Xbox is only DirectX, right? You won't be able to use the Vulkan renderer on Xbox, right? Because Xbox Microsoft, right?
It's my
Yeah,
understanding
probably.
Vulkan works on nearly everything. Consoles, Mac, Linux, even mobile phones.
Okay. Oh, Xbox Windows 10, so it should work fine. Okay, I didn't think about that. Right.
Yeah, Xbox is just a shell version of Windows. Like it is pretty much Windows with a stamp on the top of it.
Right.
Analogy. DirectX is Legos and Vulkan is 3D printing. You can make whatever you want with Legos, but you can make even more whatever you want with 3D printing. But it might be a little bit more janky because no one's fucking made it before. There you go. Perfect analogy.
Sounds about right. So yeah, definitely hype about the performance side of things. And what Balor said with the gardening, I'm not sure how much I will enjoy the minigame myself either. But from what we've heard so far, most of the gardening will be fairly trivial, right? Like the only thing that you need to think about is like which monsters to put where so that you can free them at the same time when they're ready to be harvested.
I want to know they keep mentioning nearby mechanics in the context of farming. I want to know what that means. Whether it's like the 4 on a square, like whether it's the 4 things equals nearby, or whether it's like 8.
I would be
Sorry,
really surprised if we wouldn't get like a range indicator or like a circle around the seed when we place them. At least on the ones that say something nearby, that have a nearby condition, I think we'll get a range indicator.
I want to know now so I can make pretty spreadsheets. Sorry,
I can tell you now.
Tell me now.
All of the nearby conditions involved having fertilizer and whatnot. It's like this must be fertilized and nearby this and that and that. There were all the higher level ones that had nearby conditions and fertilized.
Yeah, and nearby is really obvious because, dude, nearby in PoE is always between 4 and 60 units. Easy.
Yeah, okay, but the fertilizers have the circle around them that shows.
But what if I'm playing on
range.
a reduced AoE map? Then my fertilizer is going to have a smaller circle.
Oh yeah, that's something they also haven't mentioned yet. They said that they're looking into that, but seeing that the grove is part of the map that you enter it from, technically there could be map mods inherited, right? Like similar to Incursion.
Oh yeah,
they could, and I hope they don't do that for a very easy, simple reason.
Volatile plants.
Baker, you wanted to say something, but you were muted.
Hilarious. Still muted.
He's still muted. Look at him go.
We cannot hear you.
Tech support. My favorite part.
Oh, I got muted.
There it is.
Sorry. Okay, so I just said he wasn't sure, right? If there will be map mods or not.
I think it was explicitly said in the Q&A even, like that they published in written form, was like, we're looking into this. We're going to share information as soon as we know.
And I hope they don't do it for one reason. If that works and IIQ and whatnot work, then what's going to happen is I'll plant my seeds whenever, and when the garden is full,
you run a super
I'll find
juice
myself
map.
140% quant super fucking bullshit map with
but
just everything on it.
And then you
That'll
instantly
be the
die.
only place I can open my garden.
That's like adding quants. Like it wouldn't affect boss drops because boss drops are like a percentage based. Have you opened like a barrel before? Like you open a barrel, you get like 3 white items and a wisdom scroll. That's like adding quant to a barrel. You're adding quant to just garbage. Like there's the whole reason for the league is it's.
I've gotten exalts from barrels before.
But what they were saying was that the amount of crafting juice that I can't remember the name of might be affected by item quant.
Well, that shouldn't happen. That's stupid.
Yeah, and I was saying I don't think that should be. Like I get that they're looking into it and that it wasn't confirmed yet, but I'm hoping somebody goes, actually no, let's not do that. Because otherwise I can't just go to the garden and do crafting. I have to get super juicy map, put it together, go run my full garden. I feel like
you're gonna have more juice than you think because like looking at the early level crafting stuff, it's like you get 80 juice from a T1 wolf or whatever the fuck, and then the crafting options are 5 juice and you get 1 use of that, and then 5 juice and you get 2 uses of that, and then 5 juice. You look like you don't even get enough crafting options to use up all your juice anyway, and you're not going to have. This league is just going to make me sad about doing stuff because I'm going to open a plant, get an amazing thing, not have the item on me, even in my stash, not be able to go trade because the map will close because everyone's playing and they say the portals are going to be open for 7 minutes. It's really going to be open for 2 minutes. I don't know. I'm going to be just liquidating everything and then growing big stuff. Fuck, you're going to have so much extra juice.
I'm going to need tabs and tabs and tabs full of half-crafted items.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit worried about that.
It's like the betrayal mechanic where they're like, hey, here's this thing where you can do infinite crafting for 10 seconds. Oh, do you have the base? Nah. Okay. Well, maybe you go buy one and come back, and then you come back and you throw exalts at it for 10 seconds. You get panicky and then you val it. It's like you're going to have, what is it? Oh, add a lucky defense modifier. What have I got? A ring, I guess. Sure, it's their defense modifiers for rings. Oh, wow, I hit armor or something because I wasn't prepared like you. I mean, it'll be great once you figure it out. And then you'll be like, cool, I've got this item and I need a white socket for it. I don't have to farm betrayal for white sockets anymore. Fuck yeah, I'll have to
That's really nice.
kill this plant 100 times. The other thing, I remembered what I was going to say. Shit.
True.
That thing that was like, they want to make it. They want to make it that you need to open 5 to 15 seed pods to progress the lowest tier plant. So you have to do 5 maps. Is that going to be too high of a number for the 99% scrubs?
I
5
think it's
maps.
fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Incursion was 11 maps for a temple to be ready.
I don't know. If you can't
I
do
don't know.
5 maps, we're in trouble.
Well, I guess they won't do 5 maps.
I'll tell you
They'll
what. If you can't do 5
Harbor Bridges.
maps,
If you
go to
don't have
Harbor
time
Bridge,
to do 5 maps, you probably shouldn't be playing Path of Exile. You should be
Some
working.
people- I know I get 5 maps is trivial, but like if you want to do a lot of crafting, you're gonna have to be doing a lot of maps, and I don't know. It seems it'll add up quickly.
Well, you're gonna do a lot of maps anyways, right? I mean,
I am. I don't know about anyone else.
exactly. So,
Mm.
I mean, a physical exalt just for free? What? Crusader exalts in hardcore right now are like 20x. Just as a comparison, you get that for free for planting a seed, right?
Not guaranteed. It's like
Well,
a
I mean, you
roll,
say
right?
for free, but
You
whatever
gotta find the seed.
whatever seed gives you a Crusader Exalt will quickly work out how many of those you need on average for a slam, and then the price of a Crusader Exalt will be divided by the average amount of seeds that you need for it.
No,
So
that
it won't
was
be
just
for
an
free.
example.
Those seeds will suddenly be right, but like none of it will be for free. Those seeds will end up costing the amount that people who know what they're doing can make out of crafting with them.
Solo self.
That's true. But it's still something you can use in SSF. That's what I mean. It's not gated behind like, a serious fight where you have to have pretty good RNG or like a Conqueror in SSF to get that.
Yeah.
So those seeds, I think, will be available to most people. Maybe not in an extent, but
So
you can still trade 3 to 1 probably.
Solo self-found. Like very good league for solo self-found.
Exactly.
And also a really hardcore friendly league.
I think so too. Which is important because I feel lately the hardcore population dropped kinda, especially after a month or 1.5.
I mean, I left hardcore like 3 leagues ago.
Really?
Yeah, I did like 18,000. My first 18,000 hours I did in hardcore. I started in hardcore.
I know.
I moved to softcore 3 leagues ago. Turns out, don't regret it. It's a better game in softcore.
Really?
The only reason I will come back to hardcore is for competition style events. If there are 10-day races, if we get turmoils, mayhems, things like that, I will be back in hardcore because I don't see the point of competition in softcore. Like the racing, but in softcore seems boring to me. So any sort of event or race thing that I'm getting involved in, hardcore's where all the fun is at.
Hardcore
But
trade or solo self-found?
For a race style like turmoil and stuff, that would depend on whether I had a group.
Right, makes sense.
Otherwise,
If you're
solo
playing to
self-found.
win.
Yeah, but other than for those sort of events, softcore's just. It took me a little bit to get used to some differences, but I think it's just better. I think it's a better game experience, and I think it's more fun. And I used to be on the bad side of like, I used to be on like hardcore, all you people playing softcore is shit. Like that. Like 2 years ago, that was me.
Toxic.
Like, you scrub, come play
For
hardcore
real.
where the real game is. Turns out I was just a fucking idiot.
Still are.
Softcore's more fun.
It is.
I don't disagree with that. I look at myself as well as that, but I don't look at it like I don't have this mindset of, oh, I'm better because I play hardcore, or like playing the game in softcore is a waste of time. I just see it like playing in softcore is a waste of time for me because I'm not getting the fun out of the game that I would like. And I'm a little bit jealous of content creators who can consistently play softcore and enjoy the game, because I personally just don't enjoy it as much. Like, even if I don't see most of the content, right? Even if I die like 5, 6, 7 times before I even reach level 90, it's still more fun for me than to just go into softcore and to not have this. I don't know. The sweet is never as sweet without the sour.
I
But you
used
play
to
this game
think
to have fun?
I used to think that too. But the real question is, what's the difference? And the answer is the only difference is your mindset. And if you come to softcore and you don't make quote unquote softcore characters, you can still have just as much fun. The difference is that when a hardcore player tries to go to softcore, they end up making little 2.5k life speedy boy builds that died 3 times a map, and then they're like, softcore's so boring. And I'm like, that's your fault. You made a shit build. Make the same builds you would make. Play the same way you were going to play that you were enjoying.
Yeah,
and
but then
still try not to
steamrolling the map with 0 risk to die is not as fun when dying doesn't mean anything. I don't know. It's like you said, it's a mindset thing. I don't disagree about that. It's very much anchored in that. And yeah,
We
I don't know.
actually had exactly that discussion in the community lately, and there was quite a few softcore players who tried, end of league hardcore, and they enjoyed it a lot for the just thrill you get, and they experienced the bosses and game just different,
Everything feels more meaningful. Like if you get a good item, it feels more meaningful if you can lose it in like a blink of an eye.
Exactly. Like Anki played hardcore, for example, and he had a 6-link chef sitting there for like 3 characters until he equipped it. Stuff like that, where I wouldn't think of it, because for me it's, I'll just equip always the best item I have. But he saved it for the right character, and that was like also some mindset thing I loved.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that in softcore, because you can't lose it, right? It's different.
I mean,
I'm not saying people shouldn't play softcore. I understand that, but it was the same in different games I played. I tried everything in hardcore, and in some it was stupid, maybe Terraria, but in others, like Grim Dawn, after 2 deaths at like 30 or 40, you made it there. You learned, you read up way more than you would probably. Learned the boss fights.
I can say the only thing that will make me come back to hardcore as a permanent thing is if I feel I'm actually good enough at the game to do all of the end game stuff, proper end game, even in hardcore. If I'm not confident that I can be at 1500 depth in Delve, if I'm not confident that I can run my tier 17 100% delirious, fully scarabed, fully watchstoned, fully sextanted maps in hardcore, then I don't see a point in coming back. Because like what am I gonna do? Miss 60%, 70% of the end game content because I'm scared or dead?
Well, that applies to
I don't wanna do that anymore.
SSF though. Trade League hardcore is not so far from softcore, I would say.
I've never once in my life seen anyone in hardcore ever run a map like the maps I've been running all this league, all last league, and all the league before that. Never once
they're
in my
pussies.
entire life has anyone in hardcore ever run a map like I've been normally running. My normal
Double protch,
day-to-day
triple extra
maps.
elemental damage, min max crit.
Well, on Herald it worked.
It's more like 140, 160 base quant, and then plus 2 levels and then 2 other watchstones, and then
Or it's
and then
a
4
map that
scarabs
happens to
and
be
4
unidentified. Wow.
Right, like I say that there are people that run hardcore versions of Juiced Endgame. I've seen Dan running pretty decent maps. I've seen Ziz running pretty decent maps in tier 17 stuff. And they get about halfway there compared to what you can accomplish on softcore. Now, it's way more impressive doing that content on hardcore, but I'm not good enough for that.
Yeah, it's
And if
like
I
you're
were,
either
that's the
too
problem.
shit.
That is the problem. I'm not good enough to do that shit in hardcore, and
You're
so
too
I don't
shit.
think it's worth going back to
I'm just gonna keep
hardcore
saying it's
unless
too
I
shit. It's
am.
more fun. Sorry. Well, it's like you're either too shit or you have no idea what you want to do, so you need content. Looking at Ziz because he dies a lot, and then it's just like, oh, more content. Now I get to level up. Or the servers are too shit, and you're really good. The servers are too shit. You die. There's nothing you can do about it. Or you're just shit at making goals for yourself to have happiness. I mean, because Catmaster's like, yeah, I like dying because when I don't die, it makes me happy. That's fine. You play the game however you want, but surviving is not what brings me joy in the game, because that's why I play softcore, because I'm surviving all the time and I'm not happy for it.
I've seen you playing this game. It doesn't bring you joy.
No, it does. It's a really long build-up. It's a really long build-up until I'm happy. Trust me, it's totally worth it though. Softcore is the equivalent of edging. You know, I'm gonna stop there. Hey, how are you doing? No, it's great. Oh, I'm gonna love it so much. Hardcore's great
Oh god.
because I get to watch all the clips of people dying and laugh my ass off. So keep.
So you
I'm not saying-
do acknowledge that there's a merit to hardcore, but just for you
I
as
never
a
said-
viewer.
I never said that there wasn't anything wrong with it. Play the game how you like. God, they should add more.
no.
But they won't.
Yeah, like I don't want other people to stop playing hardcore. I'm just too shit to go back. After fucking
Right.
18,000 hours in hardcore, I'm like, I missed 70 to 80% of the content most leagues because I either die or am too scared to try it.
Have you played
And if
Skyrim?
that's me,
You know how you get like a potion, like it's like, oh, this is so good. I'm gonna save this for a boss fight, and it'll be, and you never use it.
yeah, I never
And you
use it.
finish
I
the
end up with
game
like
and you've got
6 of them by the
30,000
end of the game.
potions. That's hardcore. Hardcore players are like, oh my god, this item's amazing. I'm gonna save it for when my character's I died. Oh shit. Oh, I'm gonna make a new character. And they never use any of the good shit they find. They never have fun the way that softcore players have fun. Because when a softcore player finds an amazing item, guess what? They can just make a build and you play it whenever they like and experience it. It's just different play styles. It's fine.
Yeah, but if you want to play a build, you can just buy the item anytime in softcore. You don't need to find it.
Yeah, but it's like, please, trade me. So film play it.
It's interesting to hear where people are coming from. The main topic of the podcast is Harvest, and I
Fuck
think
Harvest,
we're just circling around the hardcore softcore kind of thing. But what I
Okay,
really want to hear from you
I don't
is
know
I
what
think-
you were about. Go ahead.
I think only you, Jim, commented so far on the fact that the crafts that we'll unlock will, unlike bestiary, not be permanently on our crafting bench, right? Until we consume the beast that we did. But like when we harvest the monsters, each monster that was grown in a seed has a chance to give you like a certain modifier, or has different chances for different modifiers, and then you get the modifiers. But if you don't instantly craft them, they disappear again, right? Like we got the life force that we get from the monsters, and each monster can give you a craft. But then if you don't choose to use the crafts, then you have to transform the life force into a different kind of life force that you then can only use in order to fertilize other seeds. I guess that was a little bit too complicated for the people who are not familiar with it.
Is it every seed gives you one crafting opportunity? Like you click on it, every seed is a
Yeah,
crafting
it says it gives you a physical modifier, for example, random, right? And then
So,
it could
like-
be either like exalt a physical mod onto an item, or remove a physical mod, or re-roll a physical mod, or something like
Each
that.
seed gives you one crafting modifier, and it's all of them are added into the bench at the end, or is it?
Exactly, like when you put the life force collector, it has like a radius, and all the ready seeds in the area, in the radius, will be.
So if there's multiple
Released.
tiers, I've seen them harvest the low tier stuff in the videos. If there's multiple tiers, how does it differentiate between the low tier juice and the high tier juice? Because I've only seen one juice bar. Like if I harvest a big beast
There's
that
no
needed
such
little
thing as
beasts
low
around
tier
it,
juice and high tier juice.
I
is there
think the
not?
It's
juice
just
is all the
juice.
same. The crafts
Well,
are
how-
item limited, like
like
level
tea-
limited.
So there's just generic fertilizer juice. There's no shit.
Yeah, so there'll be a
T1
tier
juice,
2.
shit
There'll
T2
be a
juice.
tier 2 craft that requires more juice, and you might get more juice from a tier 2 plant, but it's the same. It's just the one
Sounds good to
bar.
me. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
so much juice. Why is there multiple tubes then, different colors?
Because there's different kinds of juice. There's like three
I don't-
different, like three
Almost
different
like
life
I don't
forces.
know.
There's like a
Almost like
yellow, a
there's
blue,
three
and
different
a pink
tiers.
life force.
Uh-huh.
It's like cobalt
Almost-
and crimson and viridian jewels, right? You get like three different kinds of life force.
There's 3 tiers of plants though, plus 4, which is bosses. And we're not going to be getting boss juice. We're going to be getting boss crafts or boss items. I just want to know more. Like, you know how they like the harvesty thing had, it was like a square grid, right? You put the square grid on top of the beast that you want to capture or whatever. So it's like a 72 monsters or something. I don't know how big they said it was, is the max or something like that. Can you like, you know how you're going to have to build like an intricate, I'm just thinking like the bosses. You have to build the intricate pattern with the boss in the middle and all the shit surrounding it, and all the juice linking up to it, do you have to, like, is there going to be some way that we can put the boss on the corner of like the harvesting square? So then you've got still like 3/4 of a boss spawner sitting there as a plant. You know what I mean? Like, because they're going to have, the bosses are going to need T3s near them, and the T3s are going to need T2s near them, and T2s are going to need tier 1s near them. You're going to have to build some intricate city building pattern. And if you have to wipe that clean every fucking time you want to kill a boss, I'm going to be pissed. I don't know. I definitely I could have sworn, based on just the simple fact that there's 3 different colored juices like a printer, like cyan and yellow and blue. Wait, blue, cyan. It doesn't matter. 3 different juices. I would just assume that the T1s give you the basic juice, and the T2s give you the higher tier juice, and the T3s give you a bigger one than that. I don't know.
It could be that the colors correlate with the tiers, but then I think that it's just there's tiers within the colors. I have no idea. I can't tell either way. I thought I knew. I thought I was not confused before you started talking.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was right, but now I'm questioning it. I don't know.
What do you say, Mr. Baker? Muted again.
Hilarious.
Where's the mute button? I don't get it. No, but I thought it's just the same juice basically. And since you have to use it while crafting, everything else gets stored, and you can only use it on seeds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but why would there be different?
Well, there is, and literally, if you look at the harvest page right now, like the first thing right now, the plant potent seeds. I'm gonna put it on the screen so we can look at it together. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, I've got it.
Yeah, you have like 3 colors. The blue is primal, the yellow is vivid, and the purple or pink is wild. And it's
3
different.
tiers of 3 tiers of seeds. It's like rarities. Got it. Makes sense.
Is it
rarities? Tiers, the kinds.
Yeah, but you can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna slap 20 different affixes on the end of it." Well, one's a bulb, one's a seed. But I understand that those ones, like at the end of, like, vivid wolf bulb, they just had to slap a word on there to make it farming. But the vivid and this whatever the other 2 things are, that's like a tier, right? You got the easy wolves, you got the magic wolves, and you got the rare wolves.
No, because like it says seed tier on there, right?
No,
the primal one. Oh no, it might actually correlate, because this primal one says seed tier 1, the vivid says seed tier 2, and the wild says seed tier 3. It makes sense, because growing the vivid consumes wild life force. Growing this wild consumes vivid. So you would assume that it. I don't know. I think the tier is independent from the color.
I thought it was T1, T2, T3, T4, and each of those, except T4, can be vivid, whatever the fuck, and something else.
As we're doing this podcast, I am ending up with more questions, not less.
Well, yeah. I need to know these things. I'm a farmer, man. Come on. I live on a farm.
I thought I already knew what was going on, and now I'm realizing that there are more ways than one to interpret that information.
Loot from 100 vivid tier 2 seeds.
I mean, go ahead.
I would like you to do 100 of every single seed type.
That's like 3, right? I wanted to play
Solar Self-Found this league.
Good luck.
3 what? 3 tiers or 3
3 tiers. Vivid? Yeah, 3 vivids. Not vivid. Vivid, primal, right? What's the other? I don't have
wild.
All of them open. Wild, yeah.
So are those vivid, primal, wild? Are they T1, T2, T3, or are they?
I think
T1
so. Yeah, because
T1 wild, T1
primal is tier 1. It says on seed tier. If you wait, I can link it.
Yeah, but why would it have both information, primal and tier 1, on if primal is always tier 1? That's why I'm saying. Like, there could be tier 2 primal, tier 3 primal. It could be just a weird coincidence that the ones that are shown here are like that.
Oh,
that's what I think.
That's
I think it's
mean.
just primal is blue, and then there's tiers 1 to 4 in primal. That's what I think is going to happen.
RNG.
But
there's different types of crafts also that you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, most crafts we've seen are the purple ones, right?
I think so. Yes.
Most of them.
I think those were like the re-rolling and wait, the yellow ones were the sockets. I remembered those because I was looking for 6-link hints for SSF.
I'm sure there's gonna be like a 6-link thing.
Yeah, tier 4
similar.
something 6-link. I think so too.
So if it's not about tier juice, it's about the quality of the seed juice. So you can have a whole bunch of T1s of higher quality to get yellow juice or something stupid. And then you can farm your higher tier stuff with the proximity and the fertilizer.
Oh, I know what Jim doesn't understand. Okay, I know what's confusing you. Right, okay. So, when you harvest your plants, you get that bar of juice at the top, right?
Yeah.
That you've got this amount of juice and these crafting options that you unlocked.
Right.
You either use them on the spot while that map is open, or you turn it into generic fertilizer and it's gone.
Exactly.
You cannot save that up.
Okay, yeah, so now we're all on the same page that I expected everyone to be on when we started the podcast.
I get that. No, I get that. Why is there multiple colored fertilizers?
Well, there isn't. The juice that you're using is just colored appropriately to just be like, this is where all of the physical mods come from, or this is where all of the caster mods come from. And it's just a thematic, nice looking thing. And when you're done crafting that particular item, all your juice is turned into generic fertilizer.
I think you're wrong, but I'm not going to push it further.
I could very easily be wrong.
I don't know.
I would like.
Why have a trailer with like multiple different lanes of tubes if they're all the same tube?
Wait, why
you're
the
muted
same
again,
tube?
by the way. You're muted again. I saw the icon pop up, and now you're trying to talk.
This is fantastic.
Do you have like a mouse button bind or something?
We can see the mute button on your webcam.
How does this happen? Well, let me see.
Do you have a mouse button that you have like
FK timeout maybe or something? No, wait.
No. It'll end up being like the back button on your mouse or something.
Yeah.
I think like clicking through a website and maybe yourself.
Maybe you like accidentally have the mute button on the same button as a Flask, and you put the Flask buttons on your side buttons on the mouse or something like that. I don't know.
I'm not playing right now.
No,
it'll be pushed to mute.
That would be hardcore.
There'll be like a toggle mute hotkey in Discord.
Well, I'm looking at it now. It should be fine. So wait, what was I saying about this? Basically, I was just saying it doesn't really matter, right?
I mean, no, it doesn't matter.
Actually, like it's not the biggest question in Harvest. Like how much?
I completely forgot what my other question was. I was just trying to get the base knowledge to make sure we're all on the same page, and then ask the next question. And I forgot
the question. Okay, like let's just sum up. How do you feel about the crafts being only temporarily available and then going away again? Now that we clarified how everything works, how do you feel about that going away again? Do you think that's problematic? Do you think that's good? Do you think you should be able to save a mod so you can craft it later with new life force? Or
if you're playing in a bubble, it's fine because you're gonna experience a good craft once, write it down, and then try and get that again. If you're not playing in a bubble and you're on Reddit, you're gonna see the list and be like, "Oh, I've got a seed that's good. I'm gonna save that until I can actually use it." You can plant it. You can plant it in a corner of your garden and have it ready for when you finally have an item, then go in and use it. That's what they want, right? They want you to have...
But the modifiers that are granted by the seeds are random, so you don't know whether you have a good one. You only know that the moment that you...
You know the base item, right? You know that it's a physical wolf.
Yeah, you know it'll be a type.
So you plant a bunch of physical wolves. You wait for Reddit to say what you can get from that. You get prepared for the best case or whatever. It's not like you're going to go, man, I really want to annul the single physical thing as I'm leveling and I'm level 45. This would be real treat. Let me plan on my wolves right now, harvest them. Oh, I got the Exalt one and now I'm sad. You're going to prepare for the best case scenario. And if you get the shit one, who cares? Or you're going to play solo self-found in a bubble like Catmaster over here, and you're going to cry when you get something amazing, and then it's going to get clipped, and you're going to go into a compilation, and that's fine too if that's how you want to play. There's no wrong way to play, apart from hardcore. But that's.
I mean,
you'd still have options.
Brands is the wrong way, but anyway.
You'd still have options. There'd be multiple things, assuming you're not farming one thing at a time, like I'm gonna end up doing because I'm sadistic.
Yeah.
I mean,
One wolf.
I have the screenshot open where you see the
Like the
outcomes
crowd?
basically that they showed. I don't know if I should link it or
Is it on the announcement page?
no. They put
No, it's a
together
Reddit thing.
from the video like the
Everything we
screenshot
know
of
so far.
all the options, right?
Oh, sure, link it.
Mhm.
I'll put it on the screen. You gonna link it in chat or in the Discord? Oh, there.
Yeah, I
It's
did
already
in
there.
chat, but
Yeah, no,
I
it's
can do it
perfect,
here
perfect,
too.
perfect, perfect. Absolutely beautiful, wonderful, amazing.
So as you see, like I think it ends right. The first 5 are one thing, and then I guess the next 3 are one thing, kind of, from the video, and then the next 5 or 6 are one thing, right?
Yeah.
So
I did.
it-
Yeah, go ahead.
if you look at it, the first one, like unique armor to another unique armor of that type, sounds pretty cool, but probably is crap. And then, like more interesting, right down there for 30 life force, removes an influence modifier from an item and adds a new influence modifier. Exploded
that's
chest,
big.
for example, you got the crappy one.
Yeah, that's super good. That's true.
That's insane.
That one's very good.
And it's
And
just 6 times the thing, turning the unique jewel into another unique jewel, which, you know, is at least 100 times shit before you get a good one.
Yeah, unique jewels are so many different ones, and it's not specific to base type, right? It's like all unique
Well,
jewels.
we saw him turn something perfectly fine into an Obas map. So
Yep.
I don't
It's
know
probably
how
a
good.
base Obers map too, not even
Yeah,
like
exactly.
But these augments an item with a new influence modifier and remove an influence modifier and add a new influence modifier, those only work within already existing influence on the item, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
They're not like Redeemer Exalt.
Maz also pointed out something cool, because that was the next thing I want to go about. There's this red circle around it, right? And I think, as Maz said, that might be a boss encounter. And you also have only
yeah.
one stored of it. I mean, it's level 1. That's pretty crazy for level 1, honestly, but it's still probably a boss, right? Compared to all the others.
It does look a little bit
Probably.
higher tier. I don't know whether that indicates
Although it's still
a boss.
level 1, so
So here's the important part. They also like flat out said, we did not show you the best mods, and there's a whole bunch of them.
Oh yeah, Chris said that there's a lot
Yeah.
of really good stuff.
yeah.
They were like, there's a ton of them. You've seen a small fraction, and we did not show you the best ones. And
Yeah.
we've got shit like replace an influence modifier with another influence modifier.
What
Like
do the
that's
levels mean?
insane.
It is insane. Like
That
that
is what?
It
What
is
do the levels
insane.
mean? I'm gonna keep talking. Like the levels underneath the not like the circles on the right hand side. What do they mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
that should be the
Would it just be, like,
minimum
the-
item level, like the minimum level item level of the piece.
The
So one
maximum
can just be
level.
used on everything. Whereas replace a cold modifier with an equivalent fire modifier
Makes sense. You
has
don't
to
wanna
be a
make
level
fucking
55.
twink leveling gear again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like some of the stuff is fine to be not level restricted. Like you, if you go out of
Rotham?
your way to get an item level 2 and influence slam it, that's I guess on you.
I mean,
that's fine.
Rothan asked if that's likely the level of the seed. I don't think so, because if you look to the side, on the right side, the last few, there's like level 55. So I think that's the encounter level, maybe?
Well, that's in the monster level of the monster that's growing in the seed, right?
Okay, so
Yeah.
level 1 is pretty crazy, so you can bash it instantly.
By this point. Well,
Or
if,
is
if
it-
that, if
Or
it's
does
the
that
case
mean
that
it's...
level, then they've already. That just means that some devs spawned in a whole bunch of level 1 seeds to show off what you can
Yeah,
get.
the number is the quantity of the life force, that's true, but below it says level. We're talking about the level.
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
It just looked weird.
We'll soon
Maybe it's also
get
random 'cause
clarifications
it's
on
not-
that, I think.
Yeah.
If we
yeah.
don't have it already. It's the
Cost
cost
of
of
the
the craft. Yeah, the number in the circle is the cost of the craft. That's how much
Yeah.
life force it costs. But under the circle, the level, it wouldn't make sense to me if it's the level of the encounter. I mean, like,
It's definitely
Well,
the
it
level
would,
of
kind
item.
of.
But if it's the level of the item, this is like it's the maximum level because it's capping out things, right? It's not the other way. It's not a minimum level. The things have maximum levels so that you can't use a low level exalt on a high level item. Right? That's the whole idea of the league is that it incentivizes you using the crafts that you get as a league reward rather than rare drops or stuff like that. You get these crafting opportunities that are limited to your level so that you're actually exalting or like crafting your item with the mods as you level instead of saving them for late game. So like if it's a level requirement of the item, then it's the maximum level, not the minimum level, right?
The exact opposite of that.
Yeah, I think it's the minimum.
Yeah.
Why would you remove an influence mod on a level 1 item?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, why would it be a minimum level? Like it's yeah.
You just
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. No, it doesn't make any sense with the influence modifiers. But still, like
same with the uniques and so on, you know.
Yeah, but the idea is that it's limited in level, right? They did say that there is maximum levels to using them.
Yeah, but set an item to 6 sockets level 1? What?
Yeah, it makes no sense. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter really. They're just amazing though, some of those mods.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Catmaster is definitely hyped.
I always want more information. I want so much more information.
Yeah, we
also
don't
this
have
gambling
too much
option
yet.
changes stack of oils into another random stack of oils. Change my
Is that
3
even
clear
a
into 3
gamble?
golden.
Yeah.
Is that even a gamble? Because stacks of 10 to start with.
Yeah, stack
like,
of 10 of clear. Obviously, you're never going to sacrifice anything else but clear because you have an abundance of clear.
You're just gonna chuck
It's basically
clear at it
this
over and over again.
This mod is the only reason why clear oils will be not hidden on item filters next league.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know how common that mod will be though.
Okay, number one
It
concern.
looks pretty.
Where are my scarabs? My absolute favorite thing about Delirium was that it shat scarabs everywhere. You could maintain scarabs on every single map in solo self-found if you were trying to.
Yeah.
It was disgustingly prevalent, and I love it. Where are my
too.
scarabs? I'm scared. I want my scarabs.
There's a new tier for scarabs even.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
we've seen that on the announcement page. That was super sick. In general, I like the idea that they're just, extending that principle of enriched breach zones. That's what I compare it to, right? So that you can now have enriched offerings to the goddess, called tribute to the goddess.
You know what's going to be great?
So
and the
lab
tier
farming
16
is back?
beachhead.
Just like the enriched breach stones, they won't have a place in your stash. None of them. You'll have maps that are enriched and breachheads that are enriched and offerings that are enriched and tier
16 beachheads could have their own spot in the unique map tab. Right? In the map tab with the unique slot, because there's also a slot for tier 5, tier 10, tier 15. So tier 16 may also get one. I don't know, but yeah, if we judge from how it's historically been working, then then they won't have a slot. But also, this is the first league since I can't even think how long, but like the first league in ages that interacts with the lab. So, they're doing things differently this time. So maybe they also thought of that. There's been a lot of Reddit posts with like wishes for the currency tab, right? With like give us more wildcard slots and so on. So maybe.
I'm trying to remember any league that ever interacted with Lab in any way.
Yeah, that's literally me 1 minute ago.
I can't think of one. Pirandus?
Yeah, Pirandus spawned in Lab, that's true. No?
Yep.
Is that the last time?
And then also the flashback league where you had like the mayhem, where you had like 10 invasion bosses in the final room when you're gonna get loot and you didn't think about it, you walk in and you get blown
Prophecy.
up. Yeah,
I
Prophecy.
don't think there were beasts in
a golden
Prophecy
device.
Must be, yeah.
Hidden
Prophecy
by a rotten
must be
emperor.
the last. Prophecy's the last time, right? That anything interacted with Lab. Beastry had beasts in Lab, did it?
Yeah, the Delirium
Either
voice,
way,
true. The Delirium voice rephrased as
not
our
very
quotes,
common.
but it's not a deep interaction.
Yeah,
I went through the
it's
trailer
not very
frame
common.
to answer my own question from earlier.
Okay.
So the juice color is in relation to the color of the seeds. No shit, but the color of the seeds is in relation to their very first prefix, which is their wild, vivid, or whatever the fuck the other one was called. So there's 3 colors of stuff, which explains the 3 colors of the pipe. The tier has nothing to do with that. What I was gonna ask, based on that basic knowledge, was how do we okay, now I'm breaking my own brain. How do we if there's a big seed in the middle, I got there. If there's a big seed in the middle, it's surrounded by a whole bunch of little seeds because they need to have nearby stuff, and we slap harvest and all that shit, how do we only get the crafts from one thing? Because when you look at anything in the crafting in the loot video, my brain, if you look in the trailer, it's like only purple stuff, purple stuff, purple stuff. There's no purple and yellow mixed in kind of thing. And the answer is they have specific crafting juice suckers for specific colors. There's wild ones, there's vivid ones, and there's something else. So I'm assuming, my question was, when you set up your intricate pattern and you have a boss in the middle, can you break that boss without, I mean, you have to break everything else around it, but you don't get the crafts from everything around it. Maybe you just get the boss craft. Maybe, I don't know. It confused me how.
Everything you kill, but like you can put the life force collector. You can place it in a way that it will just free whatever you want to free. Seeing that you can also like plan ahead, and they said that you can reset the growth cycles of seeds and replant them somewhere else, so like you can move them after you've already planted them in order to correct mistakes when you're like, oh, I don't want to have that much together in that area, I want to have that somewhere else, or the other way around. Then you can still do that, but you just reset the growth cycle amount and they'll have to start over again.
You've confused me. It's fine, I understand.
What were you confused about?
I've confused myself. I can't remember what my original question was.
That whether you can get all the crafts from all the monsters that you free when you have a boss in the middle or something like that.
When you click it, do you get all the crafts from that one thing in the one area, and then you can get multiple like life juice things? I don't know. I want to like. It's no point.
You put a collector. The collector has a radius, and everything in the radius will be freed. Like you click the collector.
These are some specific intricacies that we don't need to know because they don't functionally change anything right now. We'll learn when it comes out. It's be fun.
Well, it's fun speculating, but like instead of
but it's fun speculating until they put out a teaser while we're talking that answers that, and now you put this video up 3 days later, and we're looking like fools.
Yeah, that's how it always is. That's literally every episode of Path of Fated Connections. Well, what did I want to say? We could quickly sum up the Harvest League mechanic talk and go into some of the announced features that are coming out with Harvest League. But before we do that, we can quickly evaluate what we think about the idea of moving the League rewards into crafting opportunities rather than like just straight up dropping. We'd already talked about that, didn't we? It's kind of. But do you think that that's something that they should do more of in the future, or do you think that's good for one league and then there should also be drops again in the future?
Consecutively, that'll just piss people off. If it's the new status quo, wouldn't it? Fucking Mr. Balor's already angry that he hasn't got any scarabs.
Balor's just angry about the brands.
I'm just concerned about scarabs. I'm only angry about the brands.
Well, what is there in this game? There's loot and there's crafting. Is there anything else that we actually like?
I mostly only like crafting.
I like not dying.
All the loot. I straight up hide all the loot on the ground. Crafting is everything. It's the entire.
Well, the thing is,
crafting is
where's the difference between crafting and looting? Technically, it's both gambling.
One's extra.
Crafting is fun. Crafting's fun, and looting hurts my hands.
You don't like identifying things?
No.
Why identify something when you could pick up one thing and chaos spam it 400 times instead of picking up 400 things and then clicking on them 400 times and then going, oh, these are all garbage. Oh, this one's kind of okay. Maybe I'll price check it. Oh, it's garbage as well. And you throw it back on the floor.
I guess it's a couple hundred more clicks, right?
Yep.
You're a solid self-found player, aren't you? I don't know.
That's just like picking up stuff and identifying it.
Every time
fine.
I get to turn off another piece of gear on my loot filter, it makes me happy. Every time.
No,
Did you
makes me
play on-
sad.
Did you have your own filter?
Yeah.
Delirium was scary. You turn off everything, and everything still shows up because it was too much loot.
Like, it was only like 2 weeks in that I was like, yes, I get to turn off belts and jewelry and rings and everything. I was like, fuck yes, get rid of all this shit. I don't need any of it. Go away. It's great.
If you
I
do
like
a
to be
re-
able to run. I like to
Go
be able
ahead.
to run about 30 maps in a row if I can, without ever
Yeah.
visiting the stash.
Mhm.
Just straight up, just run them back to back. I just want to pick up raw currency off the floor. That's it.
See, I'm gonna piss you off. I like doing that, except faster. So I don't like using scarab. I mean, scarabs are okay because they're in my inventory, but I really just keep forgetting to use sextants because I have to manually every 3 maps go in and do it again and then do it again,
Mhm.
and I just forget. And then at the end of the league, I've got 5,000 scarab sextants I never used.
I'll buy them off you in bulk.
Trade.
No problem.
Right now, I'm in the game buying belts for nothing. If you got any like green belts and lining belts, I need them.
Guys are the masters of
And up. Go check for me. Yeah, you.
guys are the
Also-
masters of off
Well-
topic. Baker, tell me what you think about the league rewards in this league versus the last
Oh my
3-4
God.
leagues that we had.
Like
What do you think?
scarabs, I'm on the same page, right? Scarabs is amazing to have just a bunch of them, and the trading for scarabs and also like fossils and so on was terrible, especially in hardcore trade.
In software, it
Um,
was fucking lovely.
Yeah, obviously you can buy
Like,
them in
so
bulk.
easy to buy them in bulk.
Yeah,
Just be like, I would just like 140 of this scarab, please, and somebody would just be like, "Yep, here you go."
wait,
Yeah,
this
off
league
you go.
or are we talking always?
This league. This
Yeah,
league.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like usually it was
so good.
terrible, right? And this league it was really amazing because you had some yourself first of all. Like I was buying dense fossils last time to spam something, just 20 or something. First of all, one guy had 20. That was pretty cool. And then I realized I had 68 from doing simulacrum in my dump tab. I didn't even see that first, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so amazing!" And so it's gonna be sad a bit, but delirium is not gone. So I think the balance, if they do it right, it might be exactly the amount we need. Because right now it's too much. Like I didn't even loot fragments anymore, and so on.
If you get enough, like scarabs or whatever, or league specific stuff to get delirium on your map, is delirium going to be in your farm when you go in there?
They're
Because
looking.
They
into that.
said they don't know yet about that.
Yeah.
It might be.
Okay.
Yeah, they said ideally in a perfect world they would want it to work like that, where that the fog stops as soon as all your party members are in the grove with you, and then you can.
Like, I'd like a 100% delirious garden, please.
Yes.
Crazy, but then that's super insane with the monsters. I mean, we literally don't know how rippy the monsters are going to be.
No,
I don't
but
think they're
wanna
gonna be
try it
too
'cause I'm in
crazy though.
softcore.
Maybe the bosses are. There's a bunch of crazy bosses from what Chris said, right? Or at
If I-
least
70 volatiles and then open them all at once, I will be so happy. Just for like no reason at all. Just like apart from like, having fun with volatiles. No.
Oh yeah, Xynel pointed out something pretty good. Like we saw in a video that a monster had level 92.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. Like a level 92, 100% delirious, multi-proj, triple extra as crit multi-mob.
Just
You
listening
got
to
it.
you, I have to change pants, man.
Wait, where did that come from? Level 92?
What
Monster?
eye level is like level 19 maps? Do they keep going up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Or
keep
what
going
eye
up.
I think it's item level 86.
Yeah, so like
The 16 is
86.
83 or 84?
Yeah, 83.
Yeah, and 84 loot is from bosses, right? And then, yeah. So tier 19 maps, 86. That's so
You can-
sick, though, when you get like a Shaper, like Elder Helmet base, it's instantly worth so much because you can get the plus 3 minion gems on 86 bases.
Well, yeah, they drop. So you want to say that the items will have item level 92 then?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter past 86. Everything's the same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
obviously,
no
but it's
well,
new
not yet.
that there's either 86, 87, or there's 100, right? There was nothing in between at the moment.
Planning on getting item drops from the monsters, right? Because it's the crafting league. They held alt at one point, and there was
They
like
said-
They said there would be drops, yeah.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
drops are better than the regular drops, they said.
I mean, the people would have been mad if there's no drops at all. Like, you already don't have extra monsters in the map, right? You only have that seed
Probably wouldn't
cache.
even notice.
So in the dream world, you find the item that you're gonna Exalt Slam
Oh yeah,
from
A
killing the
true
monsters.
experience. People want delve only leagues. You're gonna have a farming only league where you have to get the items from the plants and cram them back in there. To get on it. Fuck yeah.
See, I don't even care if they drop gear or not. If they
just want
drop loot, I'm gonna hide the loot anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just want my crafts. I
Hide the
like all the crafts.
Truly ethical.
All right, so everyone's very hyped for less drops, less picking up, less strain on the wrists and the fingers, and more crafting opportunities.
Hell.
That's good. Should we move on then to either Balor's favorite topic or the passive tree changes that we know about so far? I think Balor has a really big stone on his chest that he wants to get off.
Okay, I need to just. Okay, so here's the thing. Brands are still going to be fine power-wise. You are still going to have a powerful enough build to do most things. All the brands will still function. However, brands as we know it right now are literally 100% dead. The entire playstyle of brands doesn't exist anymore. It is now a new playstyle. Brands will still be fine, but when I say new playstyle, what it really is a self-cast totem. You will have to cast them on every pack. You cannot maintain them forever. You won't be able to just run through a map at speed. The smoothness of that playstyle doesn't exist anymore. You will have to either cast or brand recall on every single pack. And if a pack moves, right? If a pack moves with you, like say it's a quick pack and you don't one-shot it, if it moves a little bit and then you kill the one it's directly attached to, it will drop back where the pack was originally and not even kill the rest of the pack that you've got there. So you may need to cast even more than once per pack if you don't instantly one-shot them because of that. The playstyle we had of brands is literally removed from the game. Now, brands themselves will still be good. I'm not saying, oh, they're shit, brands are dead. I mean, I am, but I'm being facetious. They're not really dead, but the play style that we had is dead. We had this many ways to play the game, and now we have this many ways to play the game, and that annoys me. I'm not saying that they didn't need to be nerfed a little bit. Obviously, Archmage did. All the Archmage changes were super appropriate. I even tweeted a video that I put out a month ago saying what the Archmage changes would be, and fucking nailed it from like a month ago. That's exactly what they did to Archmage, which was perfect. That's fine. Here's the thing, though. Brands have existed in their current state for the last 3 or 4 leagues. They've never been super overpowered. Were they a bit on the strong side? Yes. Yes, they were a bit on the strong side. I don't know that they were really overpowered without Archmage, but even if they were, they've now been gutted from a bunch of different angles. Now, to be... Yeah? What?
Okay.
What?
Haven't they just made it so instead of brands working one way, they now work 2 ways? Because they still have the ones that infect other shit. It's basically changing it a little bit to make it more types of gameplay, right? Because they have those couple of brands like the Cold Dot one and the other one that like you hit it and it spreads out between a whole pack and then explodes.
Cold Dot 1 doesn't spread.
Does it not?
No, it's
No,
just
that's
when
a
it
different
drops
one.
from the
I know
enemy
what
or the
you're
enemy
talking about.
dies, then it drops a dot in the AoE around the location. But it doesn't.
So you still got that one mechanic there. They changed it, but they still.
Yeah, but that
kept
one
the-
doesn't deal damage until you recall or until the time's out. So like that one is not the same as the previous brand. Like I really was like, also it's not that bad, but then Balor like summarized it for me again and was like, oh well, they removed duration from the brands, they removed all duration extension from the brand recall. They made it so that brand recall inherits the mana cost, which is fair in combination with Archmage, sure. But then the worst thing in my eyes is the thing that where brands normally when they expire or when the enemy dies, they would drop on the spot where the enemy died. But now they will be automatically going back to the location that they were before they attached to the enemy, or like where you initially recalled or cast them, which is complete bullshit. Like it doesn't make any sense, and I don't see the point of that.
It's Stormcall. It's basically you're basically.
They added a support for that though. They added the support where it would, after detaching from the enemy, spread to another enemy.
No,
really?
Didn't.
Yeah.
Does Swift brand do that? Is that Swift brand support?
I think. Wait, was it a support, or they did something about that where they said where Chris explicitly
that doesn't happen anymore.
Penance brand.
What?
Yeah, I think that was a thing. Was it on Penance brand only, or was that a support actually?
Penance brand.
No, Penance brand spreads, but
none of that.
To an additional nearby enemy each time it activates. Quickly
but that's Penance brand.
That's
not
Penance
a support.
brand.
It's just a new skill that works differently because
okay.
Penance brand only deals damage once you end it.
Yeah.
Once you take it off the enemy, then it has a detonation based on how many times it's been activated.
But they changed your playstyle in exchange for a brand that could literally be any spell you want.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. But we've already got totems that can be any brand you want. This is a totem build.
Totems
totem
are
can't die, and it can leech to you. It's just a slightly better totem build.
Hey, I had fun with totems and blight.
They could have just made totems better instead of turning my brand playstyle into a totem playstyle.
I feel like brands are not really like totems. They're like better traps. At least I thought so before going into this. Now it makes more sense with the totem analogy.
Well, the brand keystone is just right next to the totem keystone. I think that's what Balor bases the comparison on.
No. Hang on. It's the new the new trigger brand is basically spell totem, except you can leech from it,
and it doesn't have HP, so it doesn't get stunned or die.
Right? But other than that, you still have to either cast or brand recall at least once, maybe twice, on every single pack you encounter.
Not on Lightning Warp. If you Lightning Warp link it to...
Yes, no, even
Lightning
on Lightning
Warp brands.
Yeah.
Even on Lightning Warp, because even if that works, which I'm curious now as to how that would be very fun, but even if it does work, as soon as it kills whatever it was attached to...
Oh yeah, it goes back.
It'll just fuck off back to where you cast it. It's completely useless.
Well, wait. You said you cast it on every pack. So going back is like basically, a bit back. It's not back.
Well, it's back to wherever you either cast or recalled it to last. It just.
Well, you use recall still, right? It's not gone.
Yes, although it's got now an increased cooldown and it doesn't add any duration, so you're probably not even going to have like we used to invest heavily into it. You used to want to get second wind support and power, and then try and corrupt stuff and get plus levels on it. And we used to heavily invest into brand recall so that it would be smooth and quick.
Well, now you're just going to heavily invest into something else.
Yeah, a different build, because I don't like totem builds. Now, I'm not saying that brands will be weak. I'm saying that the play style of brands as we currently know it is dead.
I think Arcanist brands is still going to be good.
Playstyle is stretching it a bit, though. If you look at Stormbrand Archmage, is it really a playstyle or is it
Archmage
running?
Itself, I'm 100% on board with all of the nerfs they made to. I was happy to lose Archmage, and that was fine. And you know what? I'm even a little happy for them to have nerfed brands a little bit. Like, that could have been fine if they had kept the dropping at the feet, and they could have even halved the duration, like straight up halved the duration that was added from Stormbrand. So I did some of the math on it, and currently without currently, if without knowing the changes on the tree, so I haven't accounted for that, assuming you have 2 duration clusters on your tree, you will currently, if you have 5 brands, you will need to cast a brand every 1.8 seconds to maintain full brands throughout the entire map. That recall is irrelevant. You'll get to recall as much as you want, but recall doesn't add duration. So every 1.8 seconds throughout the map, you will have to cast a brand new brand. Brand new. Anyway, that's not the playstyle. That's the entire playstyle is now gone. And that's before they make any changes. Now, that is with investment into duration. That is with the duration that's on the tree, all of the nodes of it, and 2 clusters that have duration on it, 2 medium clusters with a duration node 4 brands on it. It's still 1.8 seconds. Now, what we have to do now is, based on the current tree. We don't know what the changes are. There might be some more duration. Maybe we can bump that number up to 2 seconds. Who knows? Right now, what we've got is cast 6 brands at the beginning of a map and never cast again. Now, that only happens when you invest enough into it, which is, to be fair, heavy investment. We're usually getting plus levels, level 4 empowers, second wind, all sorts of investment into it to get to that level. But that's fine. Let's say that's not okay. If you halved the duration it added, straight up halved it, I would then have to cast a brand once every 10.8 seconds throughout a map. A new brand every 10 seconds. Or I would run out of brands. That's at half. If you dropped it to a third, instead of half, it ends up being something like every 7 seconds. And this is in best case scenario with full investment as a Hierophant, fully max leveled. That would nerf the just running around playstyle. Any of those sort of changes would get rid of that I just get to run through a whole map and not do anything, which, by the way, I love and don't think needs to be taken away. But even if it does, there was a medium between the way it was and completely and utterly killing it in every sense of the entire playstyle is gone. There was an area in the middle that could have been hit where I get to keep my playstyle, but it's not quite as powerful as it was. And
if you keep the playstyle, then they wouldn't have been able to add the new stuff in the way that we got it. Like, you've got new playstyles now. Why not play them?
But I don't like totem builds.
Well, that's fine. Fuck you. They're trying something else. It's fine.
See, I think that brand recall Storm brand builds were similar to Winter Orb, just a little bit too convenient to be as powerful as they were. So they had two options here. Either they made them less convenient or less powerful. And I think we've seen with Winter Orb where, it goes when you remove so much power that you need to heavily invest. And I think they just wanted to try the other way of nerfing it and try and provide a meaningful power level skill by significantly changing the playstyle and the convenience factor of it. And I also think that it will not be very popular, and I don't think I want to play it. But looking at the Arcanist brand with Shock Nova, I think that's actually a nice alternative to using Astral Projection Shock Nova, because you put down the brand and it activates several times and does these Shock Novas, and it's basically, because normally Shock Nova is centered around your character, but it makes Shock Nova a ranged skill. So I think that one is kind of cool, because it's like making it ranged and adding a Spell Echo Unleashed sort of effect where it casts several times.
All right. This is the last bit of complaint I'll do about it, because oh my god,
I just wanted to move away from the negativity, but
I could fill 3 hours. But this is what it seems like. This is what it feels like to me. It feels like they sat down 6 people at a desk and went, okay, let's brainstorm all the ways we could nerf this brand build because it's a little too powerful. And then they brainstormed for a little while about all the different ways they could nerf brands. And then someone went, all right, brilliant. Let's do every one of them.
Yeah, that's literally what I meant when I said that they did it occultist style.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, these are the 7 different things we could do. Great, let's do every one of them.
You're just brand makes me want like a spell support that makes it auto cast within a certain area. Because you're like, I want a spell that I can press 3 buttons and then walk through an entire map. There's RF, first of all. But
Yeah.
I just want, from your description of old brands that I never played, fuck, I always am never playing the meta. But I just want a spell support that's like cast shit when it gets close to you, the spell. It's like, now I get to walk through the map auto casting. We're Diablo now. You want to play? Fuck, man.
They also people way oversimplify that. Like I had way more buttons than just left click and run through the map.
1 to 5. Oh, stressful.
Yeah. And
flasks don't count. We all have flasks.
And Val skills and dash and the wave of conviction.
Everything
And
someone playing RF has.
Yeah, but there are other playstyles that have that.
Playing a spell that you had to cast constantly by design, except you weren't casting constantly by design, and now that you have to cast constantly by design, you're upset.
Well, no, the design changed.
Yeah.
You didn't have to cast it constantly by design.
Well,
and now that design is gone.
Fine.
I don't like removing playstyles.
It's the thing that Chris said. They can't give you something and take it away, except they do it every league, and then a small minority get upset. Like,
yeah.
And then
this is the first time I felt like I belong on Reddit, though, so that's good, I guess.
Did you not play like a build in Metamorph or whatever?
Yeah, I played a bunch of OP builds, but I've always felt good about when they nerf stuff. Like I played the Cyclone thing in Legion when it was overpowered. I played Winter Orb for 2 leagues while it was overpowered, and it all felt fine. Every time they got rid of my super powerful fun meta build, I never got upset about it. I was just like, yep, that's right, whatever. On to the next powerful thing.
You got to it.
This time, I feel like they've done a wrong. They've made a mistake. I don't like it. This is the first time I felt like that. I'm happy to be wrong. I'll be incredibly happy to be wrong.
Style of traps when Incursion patch came out. I didn't play trap, fucking know. But like, don't they like every time they patch something specific? Don't they destroy the old way of playing it and then make it better in some way? You haven't played it yet. You're yet to experience it. Could be good. Why don't you try it again?
I will be very happy to eat my words and be wrong about it. Very happy.
I'm very happy if you can't eat your words and you have to suffer because you got too attached to a good build.
I mean, it might happen. That might happen. I've been wrong before. I'm not a developer. They 99.9% of the time they make the right decision, and I just don't understand it. And I hope that that's the case, and that I look like an idiot in a few weeks.
Killed the game-changing brand, selling out to Tencent. That was one thing I could handle that, but they killed brands. Oh, they lost the highest pinnacle.
I will be incredibly happy to be horribly wrong in 2 weeks' time. Somebody starts with brands and then goes, "Look at how smooth and good they still are. It plays almost the same," and then I'll be incredibly happy to be wrong about it.
You just play that one. Play the one that chains. The one that's still slightly changed.
That looks significantly worse.
But it's still good though. Just give it a go.
Nah, I would do the trigger one if I was going to do anything.
Catmaster's run away from the brand conversation. Dude, though, seriously, from you describing brands, I really want whatever the hell as like a spell AoE aura like on you that casts spells. Like make it like fucking, you know how like there was a Poet's Pen nerf and it only maths on like how often you cast a Poet's Pen. Make a really even shitter Poet's Pen that's a spell socket, which they did, but it was really good, and then they nerfed. Okay, make a really shit one that just casts the spell automatically as you walk around.
You know, that's cast while channel exists, right?
Yeah, I don't want to fucking cyclone everyone when I walk. When I'm walking.
I mean,
I'd do that if I could have 700 movement speed and cyclone across the map at high speed.
You can.
Is that a build? Can I?
Yeah, no, you can do that, yeah.
Okay, make it for me and I'll play it.
So you'll probably end up being a raider, but that's fine.
Or Pathfinder.
Right, okay. So, moving on from that, because I literally would complain about it for like 4 hours, but literally everyone is sick of hearing about it from me right now.
How brands... Oh, wait, no, that won't. Fuck, it made me want to play like Flicker Strike, cast on something.
Crit.
Crit? I don't know if,
Yep.
yeah. But then like brands, but it'll be dropping it at your feet if you killed the thing because you flicker strike. So that won't work. My ideas are shit, but I hope they get implemented just to fuck you over. God,
Right.
put me on the nerf team. Oh, I
Alright.
would destroy this community.
It sounds almost like Chris talking about his input to Path of Exile.
Oh.
Right. My turn. I need to visit the bathroom real quick.
Oh, well. Right. So, yeah, no, that Chris reference, just to put it in context, I remember during the Q&A where Chris Wilson was talking about the cluster jewels, also a point that we didn't touch upon yet, that cluster jewels are still going to be exclusively available from Delirium, and Delirium goes into the core game, appearing from Act 6 onwards, and the way that's going to work is that we get a 25% chance of a Delirium jewel drop per the Delirium reward, a cluster jewel drop per Delirium reward. So if you get to 3 rewards,
stack.
you get the 4th reward, right? 3 stacks, then you get the additional stack thing. So you get 4, and it stacks up to 100% additionally. So you're guaranteed a cluster jewel, which means that I think cluster jewels, especially the high item level cluster jewels, are going to be a lot more available, I think, than they were before. Because in my experience, they were fucking rare. Like item level 75 plus large clusters, super rare. Or maybe we'll just get like 90% small and medium, and never get any large and be like Tan's game shit. But I just
You can still 3-to-1 it, right?
Yeah, but even
Is
with
it 3 or
3 to
is it
1, like in
5?
SSF or in the small crafting league that I hosted, it was rough to get the 75 plus jewel of the
And then,
this
yeah.
type that you wanted with the desirable amount of passive jewel points.
Exactly. You don't want like a 12.
Yeah, like ideally 8 or 9. Like I'd take a
Yeah.
10, but then even if I get the 10, I would still be looking for an improvement.
8.
I'd still not try to invest or over invest into the tier 10,
you
right?
can't- You can't get the best thing you want first. That's the whole point of the game. You're supposed to go small.
No, I'm happy. Dude, why do you think I play solo self on hardcore, right? Like, that's literally the idea, is that I'm forced to do the progression.
Massive hit.
Yeah, solo self on hardcore. And, yeah, this, I really like that, but it was just
I'm looking
frustrating
forward
at points.
to the nerfs. I'm looking forward to seeing how they fixed heralds and whatnot. Because they're not removing them being able to stack. Whether they're just going to remove you being
Yeah,
able to
maybe
hit
they make
2
voices
things on
limited to 1.
jewel.
Voices limited to 1 or something like that, and remove the numerical values or nerf them hard.
If they
don't
just
know.
make it so you can't hit the same 2 desirable mods on 1 jewel and split it between 2 jewels, maybe. Like remove Purposeful Harbinger for the Herald ones and only put them on the Minion Herald ones, and then remove Heraldry from the Minion one. That wouldn't make sense for Minion builds. It's like destroying something else because something's amazing, but it's almost like that's how they've always patched things.
Well,
you know,
I
like,
mean, that's
really
really
unique,
hard
like,
to
really
nerf
unique.
the extreme outlier scenarios, like the really high min-maxed builds where everything comes together without hitting the ones where like they're a little bit suboptimal, right? It's really hard to strike the balance. And I've always admired Path of Exile. People laugh at me when I say that, but I always found Path of Exile is incredibly well balanced considering the bandwidth of options that you have, right?
Yeah, but like
True.
if you get an amazing nerf for people who are scrub tier like me, the nerf is, oh no, I've got 5% less deeps. But if you do the same nerf for the people who are fucking Balor Brand Lord over here, the nerf is, oh no, now I can't play at all because it's an 80% nerf. So nerfing the big guys is a lot easier when the little guys are so shit like I am. And I don't give a shit about playstyles. Fucking. No, like it's easier to nerf something that's like so incredibly broken, because when you nerf that, it becomes not broken. Whereas the same nerf applied to someone who's not really abusing anything isn't that major of a nerf in the scheme of things. Sure, it still is a kick to the nuts, but it's a lot better. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Maybe not. Hey, Balor.
I think it does. Now that Balor is back, we got timeless jewels on the passive skill tree. Like we get a huge passive skill tree rework or some huge changes from what I heard, like new clusters, new keystones. But a lot of keystones, I think 7 in total, have been moved from the timeless jewels that were previously only available from the timeless jewels and the unique things. They have been moved onto the passive tree, and I think there was a list of like 7. It was the Agnostic, Supreme Ego, Wind Dancer, Eternal Youth, and Glancing Blows. And the passive jewels that they timeless jewels that they've been taken from will get new modifiers, new keystones instead. But do you guys want to share your thoughts on this change? Because obviously moving them from timeless jewels onto the tree changes the availability in many ways. Because first of all, they're not gated behind doing legions and getting timeless jewels, and on the other hand, they're now more gated behind your like having a start or a tree that is sort of adjacent to the thing. What do you think about that?
Timeless jewels still exist, right? So
yeah, but not with the keystones that have been moved onto the tree. Right, Glancing Blows you won't get from the timeless jewel anymore.
Yeah.
So any build that's not where Glancing Blows will be after the patch will not be able to pick it up anymore with a timeless jewel. It was kind of easy to pick up.
It was a 6-point nerf to most Glancing Blow builds. The Glancing Blow is so strong, it can probably afford that. Most Glancing Blow builds were CI. And every build I've looked at that used it is now going to cost me another 6 points, which I think is probably fine. But it also opens it in its location to a lot more life builds that weren't using it before. Its location is kind of a buff and kind of a nerf depending on what build you're on, and I'm okay with it. It also lets you use things like you want to be like, oh, I'd love to have Glancing Blow and I'd love to have 90% Chaos Res, and now you can do them both.
That's a good point, because timeless jewels were limited to 1, right?
Also, we don't know what any of the new timeless jewel stones are, which like keystones are, because those ones got moved off, but new ones got put on, and we don't know what they are. And
adding new stuff.
Didn't they show one new one?
What?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we got one written down. The one with the armor applies to elemental damage hits.
Yeah.
Transcendence.
Basically, like the chest, the new lightning chest.
But then
to
for
all elements. Yeah.
Like I'm
-5 to res,
excited.
Right?
Yeah, -5 to all maxers.
Well, we don't know how armor stacks still with the LE res, because like what we discussed in general, armor is the higher the hit, the less impact your armor does, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's gonna be pretty scary for hardcore. It feels like it's another
also armor
thing, kind of.
Right. There's also elemental degens like fire degen and lightning degen from the shock and horror beam and stuff like that. So that would totally not apply.
Yeah, Mark covered all the explanations of how it works, but here's what you're really going to do. You're going to put a lore weave on.
Yeah, that's the only way I see it being used, to be honest.
And then negate the -5, and then play like a jug with 9 endurance charges to deal with all your physical problems.
And also get reduced LE damage taken.
Yep. It's not phys reduction, it's only armor.
Wait, you get the endurance charges to deal with the physical damage because your armor doesn't apply to physical anymore.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll to deal with the phys problem, you'll just get some endurance charges and flat physical reduction instead of armor, and then you'll wear a lore weave so that you don't have to worry about the -5, and then off you go.
Sounds awful.
What, build-wise or sounds awful?
Yeah, build-wise.
Okay.
I'm really excited about the passive tree changes.
You think lore weave is dead? Lore weave is great with -max.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, obviously, but since it got nerfed, I feel the use cases are not that.
It's only 78%. Better 78 than 70.
True.
Also, you can stack like minus max. I don't know whether there's other items or maybe some introduced that will have minus max and also minus max map mods. So
Yeah.
Lore Reef still has its use case. It's just very, very niche. But this makes it usable.
Keystone makes
again.
it quite a bit more usable. Yeah.
Although
But
it is kind of a pity that with the jug, where you have Unbreakable, where your chest piece armor is doubled, you're gonna wear a Lore Weave.
No, I don't think you really need the lore with though, since the armor applies. So
Yeah, but the Lore Weave just to counteract the minus all max.
yeah, who cares about the -5 if your armor applies to element or elemental damage? You just take 30% of the elemental damage anyways, and then it applies armor to it.
Yeah,
if you have like 50k or like
yeah, it's like 20% more elemental damage taken, but as an
Yeah.
upside, the armor applies to it, and you can still raise your max elemental risk back with purities and with solar steel and stuff. So yeah, in a way you're right, but I think Lore Weave would be the easy. The Lore Weave jug seems like the easy league start, like easy. Quote unquote easy league start. Yeah, not for SSF obviously. But
60 rings. Let's go.
I feel like Lore Weave's incredibly easy for solo self-found, right? You're guaranteed to get a Lore Weave.
Yeah, after like 200 hours of play.
Really? Is that
Does it
a
take
proc?
that long?
No, I don't know. I don't have any values on that, but like it does take me like I don't get more than 2 Lore Weaves per league. Maybe I'm slow and maybe I'm not, but
You're solo self-found, you're supposed to know how to farm things. Just go to Tidal Island and run in a circle killing the unique boss, like really low level.
Yeah, super. Like I try to farm content where I still remotely get a semblance of experience.
Solo self-found hardcore, I didn't experience.
Yeah, the literal vegans of PoE. Yeah, so
gave me spaghetti. Sorry, I'm just gonna eat this for like the next 20 minutes.
Wow, no sharing.
What do you want me to do? Sorry.
I saw a tweet from a streamer the other day who said he lived somewhere in Washington, I think, and they overnight mailed him a New York pizza from NY, and it was good. Apparently.
Do you want me to send you spaghetti in the mail? I don't think it's going to make it through customs. I could send Balor spaghetti. How long does this podcast go for?
Look, you still don't have my address.
Still don't?
I will send you spaghetti. Send me your address.
He's going to show up here next time. I'm going to go meet him somewhere and blindfold him and bring him back to my house.
Send me your address and I will order you spaghetti right now.
Yeah. Email me your address and get a free pizza roll. Yeah, so we're basically through with the timeless keystones. Was there any other ones that were meaningful, like the way that it was put onto the passive tree?
super excited for the rest of the passive tree changes.
Yeah, I want to see those.
My literal favorite thing is when they overhaul the passive tree. They used to do it almost every league, and they stopped because apparently people get really upset when their passive tree gets fucked with. So they're like, okay, we can't do that as regularly. But it's my favorite balance patches because I don't know. I feel like the tree really quickly gets, I want to say
predictable, yeah.
Stagnant, maybe. Like eventually, over the course of a league, we figure out the most efficient ways to path through every area.
Well, this league was special.
Yeah. Now, cluster jewels were good because that changed things. But just every time they change the tree, I'm really happy about it. I'm basically excited about every single section except brands. That's like the rest of everything looks so good.
Get rid of that duration. We don't need it. They don't need it anymore, do they?
It's fascinating how close these new timeless jewel keystone passives are. If you think about it, agnostic is right above Scion Life, and then right next to it, like on the other side of the strength jewel socket, you have glancing blows, and then eternal youth is right next to battle rouse, and supreme ego is on the other side next to the profane chemistry flask dive thing. You can pick up all 4 of them.
All of them, did they?
Wait,
They
this
didn't
is
say that was all of them. Didn't they just say that was here's some of the things that we've put on the tree?
Here's
Like, I
5.
expect
I
there to
think
be
it
more,
was
right?
7. I think it was 7. But to say, in case you missed it yesterday, here are the Timeless Jewel Keystones that are now part of the
Okay.
regular passive skill tree. So I
But
suppose
there
it's
still
only
could be
those
other
5.
new keystones
I think
that aren't
I think
those
when Chris
ones.
Wilson was asked during the interview, he said he doesn't have an exact number. It's something between 6 and 8, like 6, 7, or 8 total new
Yeah.
passive keystones on the tree, and 5 of those are the ones from the Timeless Jewels. So that means there's still in total 8 new passive keystones, but like some of them are on the passive jewels that got stripped of their old ones that were now added to the tree.
I can't wait to see the rest of the tree changes. I'm so excited about the tree changes.
Yes.
I don't make builds, so I don't know what any of one's been saying for the last 10 minutes. So good thing I got spaghetti. It's fine.
Well, I hope it provided some insight regardless.
I feel like Jim's like, will I still be able to play Ice Shot? All right, cool.
Nah, man, I hate that build.
So
That's a
agnostic
necessity.
CI Stormbrand next league.
Wait, agnostic is which one?
Ugh.
The one that sets your energy shield to 0
Exactly.
with CI?
Yep.
Sounds good.
One
That's-
life.
No, yeah,
Sounds solo self phone, sir.
absolutely.
Hardcore, viable.
Just don't get hit.
Yeah, don't get hit, man.
Did you
Okay.
guys? Did you look at the new cards? We got 2 new cards, and I think they were much more interesting than the cards that are usually announced around this time when we have hype season and we get like a dump of new
Yeah.
divination cards. They usually like boss gated uniques or like some weird double corrupted stuff. And now we actually get 2 item level 100 rare item cards.
With
Or not rare.
influence.
But double influence, not rare, because the other one is magic. But
But it's crazy, dude.
Double influenced jewelry
Yeah.
is definitely
One is the one-handed, right? One-handed
yeah,
weapon.
that's what we're looking at right now. Is the Prometheus Armory. Is
Okay.
the item level 100 one-hand weapon double influenced item. So this like any double influence could be Shaper Elder, could be Shaper Redeemer, Redeemer
Mhm.
Hunter. Anything.
It's not bad. I mean, I
It's-
would like to see it on a two-handed, but sure.
Yeah, especially in the light of next league,
Yeah.
we getting 2-hand improvements. But I mean, one hand is still what
I'm-
most people use, right?
I'm so happy about these cards because in the past we keep getting cards that I don't like. Like here's a boss drop that was supposed to be boss exclusive. Now you can farm it from div cards. Lol. And I always hated those. They take away the reason to go bossing.
Oh, by the way, on that note,
These are great.
did they nerf stack decks? Did anyone feel like they got less good cards from stack decks last
I
league
never
than
had any
before?
good card from Stark Deck.
Oh, I had good cards from stack decks before, but last league was garbage. Like
God,
they-
I
it's-
sell my stack decks for money.
yeah,
Someone did the math and said they were nerfed, but I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. I
yeah.
got like 5,000 sitting there that I haven't touched, so maybe I'll open them. Don't know.
What else would you do with them?
Let them burn in standard.
Fair.
Trade them to Balor for some belts.
Oh yeah, like, but I agree 100%. I'm especially to note that again. I'm especially not a fan of the ones that bypass boss kills to give you a reward that was supposed to be gated behind a boss. Those are
With these
kind
like
of boring.
double influenced items that I can then craft on, which by the way, I was gonna need plenty of bases to craft on this league, so you give me more div cards that give me good bases for my crafting sessions that I'm gonna get out of my garden, and I am happy.
There's definitely nothing wrong about an item level 100 base. Just
Yep.
yeah, just need to hope for a good base. But since it's item level 100, you can probably always make something useful for casters with it. Almost always.
Yeah.
Or some sort of caster.
I mean, I don't think there's a single mod in the game that requires more than 86, is there?
No.
No.
But it's basically like even if there's higher mods being
Yeah, it's
added
like
in the future, it
future-proofed.
will still be a super base.
Yeah.
Which I think it's weird that they added the to diff cards, honestly, that was previously exclusive to race season rewards,
Yeah.
right? I was so proud when I won my first like item level 100 alternate art leather belt and stuff like that. And now item level
No, it's a
100
worm
bases
smoke.
are just No, I didn't chance a worm small. Should I have?
No, I don't think so.
No, the alt
The art would be gone.
Exactly, it
Yeah.
would just be a regular worm small.
Really?
Yeah,
Level
also
100
got
though.
I also got a sapphire ring. That one looks amazing.
Yeah,
The
there's
item
some
level
good
100.
things, alt art.
Yeah.
Being good at the game.
Don't
getting
get me
rewards.
started on racing though. And
Yeah.
the current state of it.
Well, you should have been there last week then.
Hmm.
To get
Well,
started on that.
Do it.
That
get
doesn't
started,
count.
go.
You know it. We're talking about like cutthroats and like endless ledges.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
One week
GG
races.
organized special alternate progression events like the what is it called? Descent Champions and
Oh my god. 1 week
Endless
races.
calories.
Just that. Just one. Why?
yeah.
At the end of the league, right?
Yeah. I don't think like the thing is they've always been saying to open an old cat of worms, but they've always been saying that they don't do that stuff, or when they stop doing this, said that it would hurt player retention. But honestly, I don't think that
I
the
don't see
last
that.
month of the league would be worse than it is now if they did if they just did a race every week.
Well, what if you quit the league?
If it was
like,
just a weekend race, dude, like people would be so hyped about that stuff.
yeah,
I don't
but they
even need a
come back-
week race, like just 3 days.
They come back after not playing for 2 months, play their race, get their fix of PoE, disappear for another 2 months, and they miss the next league start. It makes sense.
Yeah, That's
as
what
a
was
business.
happening. That is what was
as
happening.
a player, you
People
don't
were
like
coming
it,
back.
but business.
People weren't reappearing for the league starts; they were just playing
Yeah.
the race and then piecing out.
Mhm. And what if like people start getting used to that cycle? I assume there were definitely people who never played a league, didn't play standard, only came in for the races because it was PoE at its most fun for casuals, basically headhunter race and stuff like that. And then that ended, so they went, "Oh, I'm either going to quit or I'm actually going to start playing the game as the GGG people can play it." Otherwise, they'd focus on making races important, and then you wouldn't have leagues, which would be okay maybe. But leagues are probably cheaper to run than race events that have billions of modifiers for servers at least.
It's a sort of another one of those things where like I think there's kind of a middle ground. Like I think they're probably right in not doing them regularly every league, but that doesn't.
A middle ground
don't
is
think that-
private leagues.
That doesn't
I don't
mean you
think that
shouldn't be
there's-
doing them in an entire
Yeah,
year.
like the end of this league where we were already put a week behind. That's the time we're slapping a turmoil we've already done. Here's a 10-day turmoil. Like we already know that. We already know it already exists. I don't know how much work it is to slap a turmoil in without any changes to what the last turmoil was, or mayhem, or some sort of 10-day race like that. I don't know what the cost or time associated with that is. I struggle to imagine that it's
Shit'll-
super hard because they already exist, and I'm not even being like, do a bunch of changes and give me a new race. Just like times like this where it's going to be delayed, they could have slapped in a 10-day race. I feel now. Maybe
What
I'm
if
wrong. Maybe
they
it's
had
maybe
them
it's
at
way
league
more work
start?
than I thought.
What if like league start was here's league start, you can play trade, hardcore, fucking whatever Catmaster plays, or a race? Would that like split the community too much, and you'd have the people playing just for the races at league start, and then they'd quit? Although then you'll have the people just playing the beginning of the leagues and quitting anyway. Would that, you
That's
reckon
a
that'd hurt
terrible
it?
idea.
Oh come on, it'd fix what you
Yeah, no,
want, and it would
that's-
give GGD what they want.
Does people coming back for races really like? Is that so much worse than people coming back for league starts? Like, don't they spend the same amount of money on like supporter packs and MTX
Yeah,
and stuff?
I think it'd be fine. It'd slightly like reduce
Yeah.
whatever
Sorry
economy
for
you're
destroying this.
in hardcore. No, it's fine.
Yeah, no, they've
People just
got
want pretty rewards.
they had
they wanna-
had all the data on that, and we don't. And I believe that they were losing money by regularly doing it, and I'm fine with them abandoning it. But just occasionally having something when there's a delay like this would have suited me. But I don't know. There's got to be a reason they do it.
But
They're
then
just
there's
not.
like you got to have some of the staff not working on the next league and then sitting there waiting to be support for what inevitably fucks up the servers in the race because they might have issues. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, like there's got to be a reason they're not doing it. If it was as simple as it feels like it
Money.
should be, if it was as simple as it feels like, oh, we already had a Mayhem and Turmoil style races, so those exist, just slap one on. But if it was that simple, surely they'd do it, right? Like, oh, we're going to be delayed for a week because this took us a little longer because of the COVID stuff. Sure, fine. Here's a 10-day event.
They
If it
build
was
the
that
hype up to
simple
the
and they
league.
could
They
just
don't
throw
wanna
it,
have- Yeah.
then they would. If it
Haven't
was
they,
that simple.
haven't they not literally said that it's super easy for them to start a league at some point? They did. I
Start a
remember
race?
that like being said in an interview or something like that. That is literally Chris saying like it's super easy for us to just flick a switch and start a league.
Yeah, but it's not
Yeah.
about making something be easy. It's about building all the hype and all the news and all that shit to get all the
And a
casuals
prize
who have
pool
quit
and
fucked off.
then
And
Reddit
come back.
post stuff. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Also, they added private leagues, which are kind of a PoE currency sink.
Hey, Catmaster, do you want to play in a private league with me, like a group SSF, but not hardcore?
I was thinking about it. Do you for League Start?
Yeah, league start. Like, I don't know.
Valor,
like
would you
20
be
people.
in?
No.
No, not 20
Fuck you,
people.
Valor,
Like
you weren't invited
100
anyway.
people throwing our communities together, inviting everyone,
Like
making it
100
as big as
people.
possible because otherwise it would die
Man.
after 2 weeks max.
Yeah, but like
No, I'm
solo
intrigued.
self-found isn't solo self-found if there's 300 people in the economy.
Oh, group self-found is
Like a-
very
like
very
a-
different. Like the
A small-
okay, yeah, super small. I don't know about that. I
okay.
like the idea of, and I talked about that on my stream, is like after the Craft As We Can League that we hosted, where we did like a little
Okay,
bit hardcore
okay.
with extra mods. I was really hyped to also invite people who didn't want to play hardcore to just do a league start with me and to play a little bit in a small economy, because it's really fun the kind of trade interactions that you have. Since there's no like real going rate for any currency or anything, every trade is a case by case decision where you're like, okay,
I'll do it.
what do you have? What do you have? And it's interesting.
We can call it Fuck Talkies League, the league.
I was gonna call it the PBE, the practice and bonding experience.
It's lame.
I
Well,
really thought that was going to be bondage, and I was like, wait, this took a turn. But never mind.
No, but PBE in most games stands for public beta environment, right? Like it's public
I
beta.
was into brands and bondage. This is getting weird, man. I don't think I want to come to your house anymore. No wonder it's soundproofed. But yeah, no, I'll do this. We should do this. You want to do this? Let's do it. How many people?
I'm
Like
out.
200? That's fine.
Open for anyone. I still don't know. I need a little bit more information about the league. I need a couple of days to decide, because somehow I feel also magically drawn towards HCSSF again. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Players, man. What a bunch of weirdos. Hey, Beck, you want to come play? I'm making friends.
This league, I decided to go SSF. So
Yeah, you want to play?
You
like,
go SSF as well? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Then I have to play SSF HC.
Trade SSF. Come on. What? Like small economy. You know you want it.
we did that last league actually, and it was really fun. Group found. Nobody actually asked for anything. We just traded because it wasn't for your build, so you traded it to anyone who needed it. That was fun. But I think in a league start, it's a bit different, because
Yeah, you
people
kinda don't
would
wanna
like to
gut
amass
yourself.
currency for the real league, right?
Yeah, no
bunch of
one
lube.
really. I think the problem with the league start in a custom league is just that you're basically gutting your progression. I mean, unless you're SSF, but if you're like, you're looking
Okay,
to
well
play
that's
a
how
trade league.
hardcore players manage to play for like such a long time, is they die, and that's their version of gutting progression. So you play softcore in solo self-found, and not encountering anything and having a shit economy is our version of gutting progression. You play the game
Sounds
for longer,
fun.
and it'll take you longer to get there.
Yeah, I
Solo
guess.
self-found hardcore, that's like even worse. That's like nothing is dropping, everything sucks, and you die. Ugh. You'd have an advantage playing non-hardcore, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
What are we talking about? Hey, what any other topics you want to talk about? Huh?
There is still a little bit of material that we have from the harvest announcement and teasers.
Do it.
Do you want to tell us what is your favorite item of the teased items. Do you look
Someone
at
else
anything?
There's not that many.
Oh, well, we have the ring that does the thing.
Jim's
chest.
like, hang on, I haven't looked at any of the items.
There's items.
The gloves.
One sec.
The chest, the Doriani's invention or whatever, to
Yeah,
prototype.
The gloves.
The gloves that probably go really well with the chest, right?
They ruined my boots.
I
I'm
think
really
those
looking
gloves are
forward
going to
to
be.
using
I think
those
those
boots.
gloves are going to be worth a good 14
elk.
elk shots.
Yeah.
The chest that everyone's going to want, and that'll be expensive for a little while until no one wants it, and then it's a chaos.
Well, I think the
exactly-
gloves are
yeah.
okay with the chest. The gloves are just outside of the chest. I don't like it. But the hits cannot penetrate or ignore any resistances. It makes sense with the huge minus from the chest piece.
Okay, they ruined Wake of Destruction. That's okay though.
What?
Yeah,
They
I
didn't
mean,
take
some
anything
people.
away from it, did they?
No, but
Really?
they
They
didn't
added
buff them enough.
something.
They took away my chance to flee, and I needed that. Anyway, that's fine.
Chance to Flee is such a good support.
What
dude.
kind of shenanigan were you doing where chance to flee mattered?
Killing white monsters in Tidal Island.
How did you manage
what?
to do so little damage that chance to flee ever happened?
It's not
What
about
kind
the
of builds
damage,
were
it's
you
about applying the
making?
Modifier. There's so much stuff, Bella. There's so much stuff. It's fine.
Ancestral Bond build with self-cast.
Okay.
Many things are. Hey, did you know that Quant works the same way that Cluster Jewels now do? Because once you get to 100%, it guarantees an item drop. No one knows how Quant works. Hey, anyone else say? Yeah. So what are we talking
Wait,
about?
Quant works like that? What?
Yeah. Well, not the amount of player quant you get or the map quant you get, but those two go into a math to give you a quant number that then if you get 100 of, it means one white mob is guaranteed to drop one extra item. That's how quant works.
But only if it would have dropped an item anyway, right?
Yeah. So it guarantees an item then. If you get enough quant, it'll guarantee one item from a mob, and then it'll be like a 72%
Wait, what?
chance to get another item. Like
Wait, White
currency,
House
but
is a guarantee, like 100% increased quant, and then instead of
not
getting
on
0
quant,
items,
not on
I
your
get
character.
1?
Yeah, well, no, you'd get a 72% chance to drop one at 72%, and then 172% would be guaranteed one item, and then a 72% chance to get another one.
I
I
see.
derailed, but you're welcome. Hey, what else you want to talk about? Favorite items?
Yeah.
Not those boots, because they nerfed them. Fuckers.
Okay, so not the boots. But what about the gloves? Where enemies take increased damage from your hits for each withered you have inflicted on them.
Nah,
You think that's
I like
pog?
I like that the chest.
You can
piece
stack
because it
withered up to
encourages
20,
you
right?
being
That's like
shit.
if you have 20 withered stack on the enemy, enemies take 80% increased Ellie damage from your hits. That's pretty pog. How does that
How are you going to do that reliably in 2 seconds?
Shut up, Illuminator. Sorry.
How are you going to do that reliably in 2 seconds? Stack
The
me 20
occultist with
withers.
withering step and then with like the wither totem or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you don't need it against normal enemies because, like, yeah, your hits can't penetrate or ignore elemental resistances, but you're gonna wear the Doriani's chest that sets their resist to your resist, and your resist is like minus 60 or 80 or whatever. Or like, how much can you? Minus 120? Because you could wear... No, lightning coil would be pretty stupid.
It's also chests. Which
Yeah.
the
We had
chest
that. I had that thinking
Yep.
mistake
Cube.
before. That's why I'm saying it's pretty stupid without even exploring it again. But yeah, like I think you'd be able to kill most things like that without having 20 wither stacks, and then like 20 wither stacks on enemies where it doesn't matter easily. Because you also have a chance to inflict withered on hit, which is really shit. Only 23% for 2 seconds. You'd have to have a really fast hitting build. But yeah, occultist does wither like every enemy once per second or something like that. Or yeah, and then there's also other wither things like withering step. So if you stack all of that, you should be able to apply a decent amount of wither stacks.
Is
to
Wither
every
a
enemy.
spell?
No, wither is a debuff. I mean, wither is also a spell, but
So this glove works just on hit?
Yeah, on hit it has I think 25% chance to apply wither. Wither is
well,
both
generally
the name of a
wither-
spell and a debuff.
exactly. And the spell applies the debuff. It's a channeling spell, right?
Dude, my
Is Wither a
Flicker
channel?
Strike brand Wither build's working out pretty well. Yeah.
I think it's channeling actually.
Fucking got him. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I
Sometimes-
don't know how to play
Sometimes
this game.
Jim just says stuff just to upset me.
It's not to upset you. Flicker Strike, Brand, Wither. You're making it viable. I'm not even doing it. You guys are making it for me. I don't think it says it's so viable though. Oh well. What about what's your favorite craft you've seen? And what do you think is a craft that exists that you haven't seen? What do you want to be? Like if you kill the bosses, they probably gonna have some mega craft tied to them, right? It would be
I want
stupid not to
aspect
do that.
crafts, so that I don't have to find the beasts. I just want to be able
Aspect
to
of
craft
the plant.
aspect of the spider on my ass.
That'd be kind of stupid to have like 4 new bosses in a league. Oh, by the way, they're the bestiary bosses. We reuse them.
No,
I mean,
no,
it's
just the
definitely
craft,
something
not the
that would
boss.
I get that. I get that. But, like, you're killing. What are you killing? What plant are you killing to get a spider craft?
I don't know.
Malore. You're breaking immersion.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Spiderweb. Catnip.
Yeah.
That can be one. Catnip for aspect of the cat. Large catnip plant.
I got nothing. I'm excited, but I don't have any
Sunflower?
ideas. I'm really glad that I'm not the person who has to come up with ideas for leagues, because I fucking love
They're
playing them,
super
but
easy.
I could not come up with them.
Didn't Chris say they're running out of ideas? Chris, I'm gonna send you a document of like 100 league ideas. They're all yours. Take as many as you want. He doesn't watch this. Catmaster frozen? No, it's still there. Okay.
Actually,
No,
Chad
I'm
is
there.
right, guys.
Chat is right. What did Chat
Slams
say?
and two-handers. Come on.
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely that would be the next topic on the list. Is like, what are you guys still hyped about like the announced things that are still gonna come up? And very high on the list would be the two-hand improvements, as they call them, and slam rework, and also the new Warcry interactions. What are your what do you have, and like about what do you know about them so far? What do you like? How do you like it? And what are your hopes and dreams and fears and expectations for it?
I think they should make it so screen shake you can't turn it off if you're playing a slam build.
That
Like,
is a
remove
good
the
suggestion.
option.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know someone who really loves slam builds. Like I know one person that plays slam builds. Do you know anyone who plays slam builds? This is the opposite of Balor. There's one guy out there who's enjoying these updates, and apparently everyone that likes salami.
Well, now we need a two-handed salami emote. Anyone
Well,
up for
slam is
making one?
just salami without AI, right?
Yep. I have no hopes or expectations.
See,
I've
saying
never
that
For the
enjoyed
two-handed
salami?
reworks.
I've never
Oh.
enjoyed melee as a playstyle.
What?
And it doesn't necessarily matter whether they make it really good or not. I don't
But
know.
you
if
played
I'll enjoy
Cyclone
it
during
regardless.
Legion.
That doesn't
Yeah, okay.
count.
Cyclone doesn't count as melee.
Baylor,
Yeah.
you're the man.
Right?
It is.
Like, I like Cyclone. It
Yeah,
doesn't
no.
count as melee.
Me too. I played it a lot. It's not that.
Yeah. Like,
But
I
that's
don't
not
want
the
to
real
play...
melee. We're talking slams. We're
Yeah,
talking
like,
like
I
hits.
Manly
War
stuff.
cries.
Melee.
It's not just PoE, and it's not a PoE fault. I don't generally enjoy the melee playstyle in almost every game.
I think I would
I
like
always prefer to
Earthquake.
be at range.
Earthquake
like
will
it.
be insane. Or just classic ground slam. I don't know the numbers yet. I mean,
Well, the
It
thing
was
is, we also
one.
get like these crazy new interactions with the war cries, right? Like, they said something about the war cry. I don't remember exactly, but the war cries will be able to like they will increase your AOE or something like that on the slam skills. Where was the information about the war
Of
cries?
War. Fist of War, every few seconds you get an extra bit of slam for your slam. There's like a mega thread on the Reddits that everyone hates.
Yep.
This is the one I'm looking forward to. Seismic Cry, the one that like knock back and then put the gloves on that make your knockback inverted. So then your war cry becomes like a vacuum suck, and then you beat them to death. I want to play that one. Just like get a shit ton of like really small AOE slamming, and then use seismic to pull them all in, like run over into like a juicy area. There's no juicy areas in PoE. Run into a area with mobs, slap your instant war cry, which sucks everything into you, and then just beat the shit out of them. Melee is satisfying in its own way.
Yeah.
It's slow and you have to press multiple buttons. I hate it. I'm Balor. I want brands. You could use war cries with brands. Holy shit, mind blown. Fuck Melee League. War Cry League.
Warcry
yeah,
Warcry
brand build.
totems. That's what I
Actually,
want.
Warcries with the cluster jewels was pretty interesting this
Yeah,
league.
well, was one of the better builds, I think, as well.
Just in general, I mean, where was it? Yeah, my VD Spellslinger guy was pretty weak, I felt, like survivability-wise. And adding like 2 Warcry clusters, I went up from like 8% fizz reduction to 67 or something. And you had like, I don't know, it
Wait,
was...
how did you get so much fizz reduction?
You needed 2 of the medium clusters, right? Or was it 3?
Oh, you get like
And then you used Enduring Cry and Abyssal
and you
Cry.
have the endurance charges, but then you also get like fizz damage reduction
Exactly.
if you've Warcry recently or something.
Exactly.
Like okay, so you stack that, and then it's crazy.
Yeah, and it was really the tankiest character for what it is. Like damage-wise, it was insane. But I died to disconnect like I don't know, 2 hours later when we had everything together. So I can't really say how it was, but from the numbers, it was insane.
League?
No, it was hardcore.
No, the other way around. No, what I'm saying is like it's softcore league because it's melee oriented, and you can't play melee as a hardcore character because you die.
I don't think so. I played Lacerate. I mean, I had below 1 million damage or DPS, and Series 8 took a while, but it felt like satisfying because it's melee. It's different, I feel.
Because it's shit.
No. Just
it
Leap
has more
Slam. Leap
feedback,
Slam
even though-
alone is so big. You feel like a god moving through the map with Leap Slam. And with two-handers, you have the amazing animation as well. I'm looking forward to that.
And
It's probably
really
not
good
a
'cause you
league
get
starter
to
for
enjoy
me.
that animation while it takes you 28 seconds to continue a leap slam with a two-handed weapon on.
Yeah, that's true. We just saw a video not too long ago about that. I don't know. It wasn't two-handed, but it was like, I don't know if you remember that Willy Wonka's Roa Whisperer. And the leap slam looked so slow back then. It's nothing compared to now. But yeah, there are fast two-handers. You can make that. You get pretty good attack speed
like a strike.
nowadays.
What base are we talking about? Like not on maces, right?
Nah, gotta go axe, right?
That's a shit offer, Bella.
But
Sorry, you're talking about slams and shit, and I'm AFK and someone wants to buy my ring and I don't have a price checker installed, so I'm fucked.
What?
What?
is there?
Staff is great because you get block, as Xynel said.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Stuff.
And he
is,
played it actually in ZDPS League. I saw it. It was sweep. It was hilarious to see his single target, but clear was amazing.
I had
So if they do
such a
something about
nice
it-
stuff in SSF. Like 500. It was a two-hand with 500 DPS. Nothing super special, but I went like Jug, Crit, Staff, Jug, and double Jug, yeah. Crit, Staff, Jug with endurance charges and everything, and then I ended up killing myself to a DD box. It was so facepalm. But
Are
Staff is a
aspects
good idea.
prefixes? I'm completely somewhere else. Oh, that won't work.
aspects are suffixes, I think.
Well, that's
I
good.
mean,
I'm selling
at
the
least
ring now.
for rule ones.
Yep, all aspects of suffixes. But yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. Some of the new Warcry stuff looks interesting. I don't look. I don't know how the rework's gonna look, and there's a chance that
Pressing buttons stands game.
I end up being like, well, looks like I'm a tectonic slam or earthquake or ice crash build now. And there's always a chance that they make it fun and interesting for me. Maybe, but I haven't seen it yet, and I just
So
don't
you're
like melee.
complaining
So
about brands having too many button presses, and then you're going to go play a melee build that has all
I
the button
never
presses?
complained about brands having too many button presses.
I,
You made that up.
I didn't make it up.
Yeah, you did.
Okay,
Made that up.
that's fine. Oh yeah, sure. So you know what? I'll DM you later.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just having to walk up and hit things is never like the play style that I enjoy. Even if it's equal, even if they manage to equally balance it, it's not. I don't know, it's just not me. right? Like,
I've
I
never played
literally-
Earthquake. I've seen people play Earthquake. I've seen Hector play Earthquake, Jug, and Hardcore. And in general, I think that would be a great league starter, EQ Jug.
Might be, yeah.
Especially with buffs, because Earthquake has such a, like, since Legion, they put insane amounts of flat damage on the Aftershock. Like, you can literally, I think, clear maps with a white weapon with Earthquake because you get so much Aftershock damage from the gem alone. From the gem
Yeah, also
levels.
Tectonic Slam with the Warcry buffs.
Yeah, Tectonic Slam also sounds powerful. Also, they made it so that Tectonic Slam doesn't have any. It's not anymore like a chance to consume charges, but it's every third attack consumes one charge. So
Yeah.
it's just not as many charges and more consistent. You can build around it now.
And Enduring Cry on left click.
Yeah, Enduring Cry. Yeah, instant Enduring Cry. Not even on left click. Just use it during standing.
I mean,
still
Enduring
and
Cry is
slam.
generally making it back into the game, I feel, because they're saying they're gonna add charges. Like if you're standing to a boss, you get more charges than just one, which is huge in my opinion. I always used it in the past, and when I came back, I felt like it's kind of weak nowadays, right? Like it's not used. Like there's so many other options you can use that Enduring Cry isn't really one of them. For your gem slots, you don't have enough slots for it. But with that change, it sounds amazing actually. If you can get 3 charges of Cirrus every time, don't you
Is
think?
it only 3?
Hmm.
Pardon?
Oh wait, never mind. Ignore me. I don't know builds. I'm good.
I mean,
I do like it. Good change.
I'll be interested to see how effective it is, but that's definitely a good change to like scale it based on the power of the nearby mobs rather than just raw number. Rather
Yeah.
than just this random white skeleton is worth the same as Cirrus.
Could you previously or currently just summon down worms and then use like the cry and then the worms count as bad things?
Yes,
You
but
could, yeah.
Shit
that
idea.
would
But you
Yeah,
don't
but-
have
yeah.
to use it that way anymore.
Yeah.
technically that would work. Yes.
No. Ooh, viable build for the next week. When's this league end? No one knows, right?
Do we have an official end date so far
Don't
Pardon?
think so.
What end date?
for a
Good.
Delirium League?
Not really, no. But it's usually in the same week, right?
Yeah, it's usually
Monday?
the Monday evening before
No.
the Friday where the new league starts.
22nd.
No.
We don't.
19th the league starts, so
Oh wait,
Delirium
right,
is
before that.
ending before, not
Hang
after.
on. 15th then, probably.
Very likely.
Probably the 15th, I
Yeah,
imagine.
19 minus 4 makes sense.
Well, math. My favorite.
The one with A.
Fuck you. Yeah. No, I hate math. I hate both maths.
I think that's all of the topics though.
I think, yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
What are you gonna do before the league starts?
Buy a new computer?
Because Vulcan?
No, I just don't have one right now. I'm on my mum's. She doesn't have a webcam, so I plugged mine in. But
Wait, what happened to your computer? Did your
it
shit
broke.
get flooded?
Nah, just shit computer. I had to return it.
Wait, so it's getting fixed?
Nah, they're just gonna give me my money back. I hope.
So you don't know yet?
No idea, man. I really hope they give me money back, and then I can get a new computer within a certain amount of week, maybe. Shit, how long is left? I'll make it.
Yeah.
Should be right.
Still a couple of days.
Yeah. Gonna go to Balor's house.
So you're gonna play interesting browser games? Or
No, I
Something like
can't do
that?
anything. I can't
on your mother's
stream at all.
laptop?
Hey, Balor, can I come to your house and just hang out while you stream? Come on, we should totally do it. Why not? You got another chair there.
That sounds just
Amazing. That's
Come
content,
on.
like
I'm just-
CONTENT.
hang on.
New league on the side. That's what we're looking for. That's exactly what we need right now. Is a fresh wind in the form
I'm looking
of
for a
a
new
new
home.
teaser that we haven't looked at yet. Let
Is there
us see. Yes, We got a new teaser.
Today?
Also, a huge sale on pets this weekend. Or is it a Jim
Oh my
Pets?
God.
Holy.
I can buy more peacock pets.
Here we
Hey,
go again.
Supreme.
That's not it. No, wait. I
Quickly,
get you baited?
everyone.
Did I get you
There is
baited?
one, Supreme Ostination.
Oh,
Should I post it?
Yeah, please. I just
There you
in the
go.
chat. I can't see it right now.
I don't know if
Try
that
to
link
refresh
works. I think it
try to
should.
refresh
Yeah.
the paste.
Ignore
Supreme-
attribute requirements. Gain no inherent bonuses from attributes.
Wait, what? Okay.
okay.
Ignore
That's
attribute requirement,
interesting.
no inherent bonuses.
That's interesting.
That's weird.
Well, so you don't get any energy shield or mana from ES. You don't get any armor, any life or
You don't even
medium
need anything
fizz
like
from
that.
strength, and you don't get evasion and accuracy from dex.
Yeah.
I don't think that's awful, Ricardo, because I think
Because you're not going to stack a lot of attributes with this.
you're
because
not getting anything, right?
Yeah, you're just at
going
your
into large
base amount.
jewels. Into
Yeah,
clusters.
like you're gonna get whatever stats you absolutely have to get because you don't have a choice. But you're just not gonna go for stats anywhere or anything.
Yeah. You lose some life, right? On the classic build, you lose some ES on the other builds, but
Yeah. I don't think I can't see a world in which I would
from
use
what
that
it
on, like, a
looks
CI or
like,
low-life build,
it's
but
Perfect for leveling.
it looks like it's a cluster, not cluster. It's a timeless jewel from the
it
picture.
is. It's a
It is a
devotion
timeless
jewel.
jewel, yeah. It needs to be because if you look at the strength notes, they have been altered.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
And also it's within a radius, obviously. And also at that point, the agnostic is normally because this is in above the Scion life wheel.
I mean, maybe it's something that looks or where you think too much and you think like, this might be good, right? Else they wouldn't add it. Maybe it's total shit. I don't know, but
I think it might be good for leveling. Like I said, you can just equip any item. You don't get bonuses, but who cares
Yes.
while you're leveling?
The classic. I
yeah,
am
how
able
you
to
get a timeless jewel while
I
leveling?
level.
I mean, you mean
Mhm.
for the rest
Oh
of
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. No.
It's the new hollow palm.
Well, just
Ah,
when you
amazing.
re-level a new character or something like.
a 4-way, yeah. Hollow palm. No, that's terrible for hollow palm. What the hell? Wow.
it's
I got
weird.
you baited here.
It's
It's not
definitely it's encouraging thought. Anyone in chat got like which faction it is? That's a good question. Which faction is it? Can you recognize that from
The
the
white one.
Yeah, it is. It's Elegant Hubris.
It's Elegant Hubris? That's the Eternal
Templar?
one? Templar? Yeah.
I don't know what any of them do. The red ones are cool. I don't know what they do. The green what? Which is the one that the zombies use to stack his strength? Is that the white one? Why does it?
Doesn't ignore level requirement though. That's
No,
true,
just
but
stat requirements.
you can still
So
use like
Mjolnirs and
Ignore level requirement, Keck W. Imagine equipping like a level 72 hander at level 1. And just one-shotting every
imagine,
boss
like,
in the game.
you just craft and build like all of your end game gear,
Diablo
and then you
3
make a
way.
level 1 character and just slap it all on.
Yeah, and then just run
Like,
run from
lol.
Act 1 to Act to
Yep.
red maps.
well,
Yeah,
anyways, the leveling wouldn't get much faster, guys. Let's be honest here.
because you're already doing that. Just
Yeah.
running through and one-shotting the bosses. Yeah, I was hoping for
Not on
like
the first character, but on the others, right?
I was really hoping for I mean, if you look at how races are doing it, maybe also on the others. I mean, on the first one.
Yeah, but
But,
that's special people.
I was hoping for a little bit of a buff to enemies again now that Delirium goes a little bit more into the background, and I think a lot of people are gonna miss the high level of enemy resilience of enemy defenses and offenses, and in general just the amount of monsters in a map. Without Delirium, it's gonna feel a little bit empty.
Yeah, but you can go faster now. Clear speed's back, baby. All you gotta do is click on a box and pick up some shit, and then you can just keep zooming.
See, it's not shit.
Stack of
Actually, that's
seeds.
interesting what Danger
Tiny little
said.
stack of seeds.
You can still stack decks and so on for other things, but don't get the evasion accuracy bonus.
That's true. But
But
why would you
but-
want to forego that huge bonus if you're already making the effort to stack decks?
yeah, well, it's obviously worse even on int, right?
Yeah, on int it's terrible. On decks, maybe if there's maybe like a spell casting deck stacking build, then yeah, maybe you could forego getting the evasion and accuracy.
But usually, if you're
accuracy is
deck,
useless to you.
if you're deck
People wanna
stacking,
leave-
you have enough strength and int to at least equip your items, right? I mean, come on,
I don't know.
that's not worth
I
it.
never stack decks.
I don't know.
It's just for people who have like OP broken builds that want to level expensive jewels that they aren't optimized for. Gems, jewels.
Possibly.
Yeah, whatever. I don't think that one is too big.
It's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
I could spend some time zero crafting it. There's a lot of items.
I mean,
in this
maybe-
game that
maybe
have
if you're like
incredibly
an-
high stat requirements as
If
like
you're an
part of their
energy shield
thing.
build in the side of the in the strength side, and
You're
you
never
really
taking
we
it as
don't
an
want to
energy
have
shield
the
build.
yeah, but maybe you're playing an energy shield build that doesn't go into the strength area, right? So into the int area, so it doesn't get int bonuses anyway, but it needs int in order to acquire in order to equip ES gear. And it doesn't benefit from strength because it's spell casting, so it doesn't benefit from the melee damage, and it doesn't benefit from the life because it's ES based. That's what I could see, but I can't manifest an image of a build like that in my head right now. It's just
Yeah.
like a theory thing in case you were playing an ES build
Yeah.
that doesn't go into the int area. But why
Any
would you?
ES build has more than enough in it. Int.
Yeah, well, because you'd either go to CI or you'd go
Exactly.
to low life, right?
Yeah.
To
It's
the
nearly impossible.
Pain
Also, like
attunement.
just getting a
Yeah.
30.
I guess you
int-
could get pain attunement from a Lord of the Skin of the Lords.
True.
So maybe a Skin of the Lords strength based ES build, yeah.
There could be some good things come out of that. There are some items with incredibly high stat requirements as their downside.
Mjolnir.
Maybe
yeah.
there's an opportunity to use several of those together. I don't know. It
That's
would,
true. Old Shaper's
looks
Touch with
interesting.
the new bonuses, they wouldn't count as inherent, right?
No,
But they changed Shaper's Touch. What does it do now?
it's weaker. Way
just
weaker.
half what it did.
I
Exactly.
used it on
same
the
thing for
hover
half.
jug this league and it was awful.
Yeah, but if you don't get inherent bonuses, then this may actually be the move for the build that I just said, where it's like, a strength build, ES build.
Yeah,
You can use
maybe.
the
Yeah.
Crusader
That makes
gloves.
sense, but
Because you don't get inherent bonuses, but you don't care about the inherent bonuses. You only care about the stack bonuses that you're getting anyway. It's like you could also use the Joffrey's chest, right?
Yeah.
Joffrey's Sanctuary. Where
yeah,
you
everything
get,
that stacks anything and gives you bonuses is fine. You just don't get the strength, accuracy, evasion, life thingy.
yeah.
And I really want to see all of them. I love and hate that they keep drip feeding me new things. I need to see the entire tree, please. Come on.
Would you
Low
rather-
life
wait,
with
there
skin
was
of
a-
the lords. That's pretty true. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we could use a coruscating elixir or something like that.
Do you want to know what all the timeless things are, or you just want the passive tree?
Both.
Mostly the passive tree.
Would you rather they just give you the passive tree and let you discover the timeless things yourself,
Yes.
or when someone shit posted it on Reddit?
Yes.
Much better. Okay.
Right here, I got this.
Timeless things, especially in SSF, for example, or hardcore. Well, hardcore maybe a bit earlier, but that's nothing before like 1-2 weeks into the league, I think. Passive tree, you need to like instantly, basically. Be nice to have.
We do have a little overview of where the things are here.
Where?
I think someone posted that on. Yeah, I don't have the link anymore because I downloaded it, but someone posted it on the Reddit. Got like a little overview, like someone made from the screenshot snippets. Oh shit! Now I didn't find. Oh god! Wait, let me drag and drop it into the browser. That's more idiot proof. Someone like montaged the keystones into the tree, right? That we know.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of an overview. But we don't know what new clusters we get for slam skills and two-handers. They did say that they have extensive reworks for the passive tree, right? There's a lot of changes in comparison to your average patch.
Yep. And I'm excited for them all, but until we see them, I feel like I got nothing else on it. I'm just excited to see changes.
More waiting.
Yeah.
Yep. So we return to the old question. What are you going to do until League launch, Balor?
Play as little PoE as possible.
No race practice?
Nah. I'm doing a little practice of like league starts and stuff, trying to figure out what to start as now that my baby's dead. But
Rip.
otherwise, just taking as a little bit of time off PoE so that I'm not burned out. That's pretty much it.
Sounds reasonable.
Yep.
How about you, Baker?
I'm actually doing some SSF practice. I don't know what's going on. Is my cam still on?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks
It's
like it.
frozen.
Yep. Frozen.
Okay, it just doesn't show it for me.
Yep.
Am I
You're
frozen?
Yeah,
JPEG
that works. We
photo.
can hear you, but you also have like a weird coil whine now on the microphone. That's odd
Really?
because it wasn't there before, and now you have like the sound.
It's fine.
It's
Okay,
fine.
wait.
No. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just giving you the info.
Yeah.
So
It's fine. Continue.
Okay, I disabled streamer mode. Does that help? I don't know. Whatever.
no.
I'm doing SSF
gone.
hardcore and trying a build I'm trying my build that I played this league. Bleed bow, and I hope it's not getting nerfed or not too much because I feel it's a good starter. And yeah, just doing it really slow and trying to, see what kind of gear drops on the way and how it could use it and what kind of crafts I would need next league to succeed the best, kind of.
What
Yeah,
main skill?
That's all that I'm doing right now, and maybe I'm trying Grim Dawn again with the new patch.
what main skill are you practicing for?
Well, I wanted to do Rain of Arrows, obviously, but I dropped the Lionized Vision, or like farmed the Lion card and got Lionized Vision. So I'm
Okay.
going Split Arrow first, and then
Oh,
into Rain of Arrows later.
that makes sense.
I want to play a split arrow bleed build just for the fact that there's absolutely no bloody on-screen effects apart from everything dying.
It's amazing, trust me.
Split arrows
Puncture is just
very
one of the
clean.
best boss killers as well.
But wouldn't you go with the bleed explosion gloves, hemophilia?
Yes, if you get them.
No, because SlipperyJim said that there would be
Welcome
no
back.
on-screen effects. Dying.
Yeah, but they're really minimal on that one, aren't they?
Yeah, it's true. It's not like lightning or Herald of Ice explosion, right?
It's on my list of shit to play purely because of how beautiful it looks.
Seems
Like
good.
being able to see and having frames, maybe.
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna start with next league because everything looks so juicy. Like I would want to go summoner again. Because one problem that I had with the summoner builds, like I played Animate Weapon to 97, and then I played full fire conversion. Like I mean, the Animate Weapon build was a full physical, but I played in the custom league that I hosted. I played a SRS Zoo Necromancer with Femurs of the Saints, like Skellies, Spectres, SRS, and the Carrion Golem, obviously, and like full program. And I really liked that, but I always felt like one of my problems that I had SSF or in a small trade was that I couldn't get the belt easily with which you can have more than one offering active. So I'd have to decide between good offense with Flesh Offering and good defense with Bone Offering. But next league, you got Glancing Blows exactly on the tree where I path with my Necro. So it's basically 1 point to pick up Glancing Blows, so I can double my chance to block at no cost and just not use Bone Offering until I get the build. And I'm really looking forward to that. That's great. But then on the other hand, I don't know. I had a lot of fun league starting and practicing with Bane, because Bane is just a powerhouse. Bane Occultist is so good. The double curse while leveling. Basically, you can one shot or one tap every pack until you get into maps, and then in maps you can just either continue doing it or you can switch to ED Contagion.
Yeah.
And that's just such a competent starter. I just wish that Trickster wasn't such a pain to play early on, because Occultist is 10 times more damage while leveling. It's like, I tried it, really. I did Occultist a couple of times, and I was like, no, I got some gear now. I really want to do Trickster Bane, but it really takes a long time to take off, like early on. Maybe it was because I focused on the defensive half of the Ascendancy instead of getting the 20% more damage over time for Uberlab, but I was saving it for Uberlab because I was like, yeah, I got good gear, so that shouldn't be a problem. But then the damage did feel lackluster a little bit.
What's in Harvest League? We got plants, we got slamming, we got war cries. Is there anything else? Brands got gutted. Is there anything else?
No, we're talking about the build that we're excited to play, but you already
No, I get
said
that.
what
I'm just wondering in general if that's everything. It's a two-handed league with plants.
Yeah,
And
two
brands
hands, slam skills, war cries, brand nerfs, new brands.
Do you reckon they have
Which-
just like a wheel that they like turn by one? It's like, okay, we've done minions, now it's the melee. Mixing up the meta. Sorry. What were you wanted to talk about your build?
I don't know. It's easy from the outside to say or to assume weird conspiracy theories when you don't know the exact ins and outs of the decision making for the league. But I'd like to think that they have some sort of idea. No, but I'd be looking forward to Glancing Blows. I've considered it before, but I didn't have the jewel and I didn't know where to put it and when, like how to put it into my build. But now that it's on the tree and it's basically just a 1-point pickup for any build that's on the left side of the tree, it's definitely going to be something that people do. Glancing Blows will be pretty useful. It's a huge buff, honestly.
Have you played Spectres?
Mm-mm.
I want to play Spectres next league.
I played Spectres, but only like support Spectres in my summoner builds. There's pretty nice new support Spectres. Like you don't have only the old traditional monkeys that
there's
generate
like
charges.
280 Spectres.
Diabol is best Spectre for SSF hardcore.
Well, you have for physical summoner builds, you have the Mervil's Retainer Sea Witch monster that curses vulnerability. And then for anything else, there's in Haunted Remains and Delve, there's these little wraiths that ignore the enemy curse limit or the curse limit on enemies, and they cast either Temp Chains or Enfeeble. And those are amazing. Like I use 2 monkeys for the charge generation and one of those for Temp Chains. And I don't have additional curses, right? My curse limit is 1, but that thing curses and I can't override its curse and it doesn't overwrite my curse. It's brilliant. It's so good.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
It's like the best.
What are you playing, Bella?
No idea.
Not brands.
No idea.
Balor, not Brands, is the character name.
Yep, probably.
And Bella was going to Bleed,
No
or
idea.
are you just practicing Bleed for SSF shenanigans?
You played a Cult Dot Trickster, Balor, right? You tried that because Carve had some good success with it.
It was good. Not sure it's for me.
So you have no idea what you're going to start
Spectres, try and bleed bow. No idea.
That sounds fun. You're going to level a generic, I don't know what I'm doing. Once you get to maps, just be like, what's the meta? Oh shit.
I mean,
no.
Orb of Storms still carries enough. I would like to go for a generic Orb of Storms Elementalist start easy.
Just play the new brand that's like any spell and then just swap shit out.
I don't like totems.
It's not totems, it's brands.
It is.
I wonder how much of a nerf Archmage gets, honestly, on top of the brand nerf. Like Archmage itself, whether they're gonna knock down the multiplier or stuff, or whether it's still gonna be exactly the same with Orb of Storm's Tempest Shield. Because that stuff is pretty nutty. And it's actually better than brands for a long time.
Brands are just instant-ish cast firestorms at this point. Because they stay. No, they don't. Yeah, they stay where you put them. So they'll follow the mob, kill it, and then drop, and then they'll go back to where they were. So it's like a firestorm that tracks, and then when it dies, it fucks off.
Dude, Arcanist brand with firestorms. How's that?
I don't know what Arcanist brand is. Is that the one where you link
the spell totem brand?
That's fucking spells with extra steps. What the fuck?
They said so, Noodle.
But
yeah.
also spells with extra casts.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like
Condensed ones
it's
are
like a better spell echo. Because like
that wouldn't work.
what?
Maybe.
It's like a better spell
Like
totem.
don't firestorm, don't
A
isn't
spell
the
echo
damage
totem.
based on the No, I mean, isn't the damage of firestorm based on like the projectile hitting the ground? So the mob's moving. It's like what Balor was complaining about. The mob's moving, the ball comes down and it completely misses it. Damage no work.
Yep.
So you need like something that's like immediate. Like arc. That's why they showed off arc. Arc's the only spell that works with that fucking brand. It's the only reason they showed it off. That and Spark. Spark and Arc Spark brand build done.
Oh yeah, like Chad pointed out, there's also like breach monsters that are pretty useful as specters. There's the
But
spiders.
I'm not trying to make the best Spectre build. I just want to have a Spectre build that I can try like a
Well, not a
different
specter build, like because the specters that I like to talk about are not good specters. They're just specters for like they're good support specters, but not
They don't have to be
good
good
main
specters.
damage output
It's like-
specters.
There's like 300 Spectres, and like people are like, "Oh, there's like 10 that I play." I'm like, "No, I just want." I wanna
Oh,
try this
guys.
one. I want to try this one.
One more speculation here. Like, look
Go.
at this. Wait, I zoom in right now. Where the Eternal Youth is fitted into the tree, right next to Battle Rouse here, and
Yep.
then you can see that the screenshot from Eternal Youth. Wait, I can't. Well, how can I not do it? Let me just go over here. Here that there is like a little arm that goes to between the Scion wheel and the attack speed cluster.
Yeah.
So there's a new cluster here
Or
that we don't
another
know
one?
about. Yeah,
Pretty
apparently,
crazy.
I mean, there's an arm that's branching off. Reaching off.
Oh, and it's like blacked out. What's that little arm doing there?
Well, it's not blacked out. It's like not on the screenshot that was put into the passive tree. by the
Forceful
guy.
skewering, moved from near blood magic. What?
Forceful skewering? What?
Someone in chat
Ah,
said that.
right.
They're moving
no,
forceful
it's-
skew- There, from here, all the way from
Unconfirmed
down
force.
here, forceful skewering. Okay.
It might or might not be. It's got the art of forceful skewering on it right now, but could easily be.
Oh, it has the
placeholder.
art. Okay, no. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
could
see
easily
the-
be a placeholder.
that there's more on the screenshot.
Like,
because
we don't
here
know.
it isn't.
I think Reddit's dead. Well, my internet is. Oh well.
Reddit's dead or your internet is.
Yeah, it's probably my internet.
Wouldn't be a big loss either
Oh.
way. Keck W.
Wow.
Balor, if people want to watch the episode, where can they find it?
Just YouTube BalorMage.
When?
That'll be up in a few hours.
Sounds good.
Few hours after the end of it. Takes a little bit, but
Why would
So-
they want to watch it again?
also
Or maybe because they came in late and they missed the.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like that guy.
And
kept asking me about where
also-
the farming stuff was.
listen to them, which we'll actually put the links in the YouTube video this time. But I don't know where those things are.
You don't know where you can listen to
There's
it.
going to be an
at?
audio versions, but I don't know where.
Oh, the audio versions might be a little
Yeah.
bit delayed. I have like a slight problem where the credit card that I was using I don't know why, but like there should be money on that. It's a prepaid credit card, but
Precision.
apparently I can't upload any further podcasts until I resolve that issue, and that issue will probably resolve only on Tuesday. But I'll figure something out. So guys, you have to watch it on YouTube.
Slap that bitch on SoundCloud temporarily.
Yeah, I could put it on SoundCloud, but then I'd have to make a SoundCloud account. Wait, I do have a SoundCloud account. Actually, Catmaster OP SoundCloud.
For jazz tunes and cat screeches.
Well, do you want to do a quick shout out for yourself, SlipperyJim? What can people be hyped about? I heard there's a new singing video coming up, or is that
Yeah,
internal
so I can get
information that
these
I'm not
dope
allowed to leak?
No,
How long
chat,
is the
like,
deadline for the singing?
You've got until the game goes into standard that everything merges and I can access my standard currency to liquidate it into making more headhunters to give me song clips.
Okay, so that's another 10 days.
Go to my latest video, and then there's a link in the bottom that's like a singing link, and then you can submit you singing the Skyrim theme song, and then we make a compilation, and we don't tell anyone that it's a singing video. We've actually made like 10 of them, but I don't advertise them, so if you want them, go find them.
You don't advertise them as singing videos. They're like
Correct. There's no tags or anything, and I don't tell anyone it's going to happen. It's just there. So if you
just
find
randomly, all of a sudden, people start singing without
Pretty good.
context.
we got Juice. He's keen for every single video now.
Juice?
So like any song that sounds deep and manly, like the Skyrim theme song, fuck yeah, let's do it. Balor, you need to do one. I'll put it in the background. No one will know you sung. I'll even uncredit you if you want to. Come on.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm in.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I tried it yesterday, but like the song makes no sense to me because it's written in a fictional language.
No
And
shit.
it's
Just...
just-
sing it phonetically. Go a couple playthroughs. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be real. See, if it was a foreign language and you sung it phonetically,
Something
that'd be
like that,
better.
yeah.
but it's a fake language, so it doesn't matter.
Yep, done.
All right, Baker, you also gonna sing on SlipperyJim's new video?
Do it.
If I get the link.
I'll fucking send you it right now. I'll find
It's
it.
actually in the group for the Faded Connections.
It is. It's in
Okay,
general chat.
okay.
I didn't add everyone because I'm not scum like Catmaster.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, why would you make a Discord server full of streamers and then add everyone? That's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? It's fine.
Wait, why would you have Discord running while you're streaming?
Holy crap. That
Big brain?
lyrics, guys.
Yeah.
Seems me, Monka TOS.
What?
Well, I don't know what it says, though. But...
It's not real. It's Skyrim language.
It's not a real language yet. It's all made up.
It's just
Let's
I mean,
see.
all languages are made up, but whatever.
Well,
All languages are made up.
Google SlipperyJim if
mean-
you want to find me. There you go. I'm done.
Yeah, SlipperyJim has a Twitch and a YouTube, guys, and there's
I've got
amazing
everything, I
videos.
just don't use it.
Yeah. Baker was the first guy to hit 100 in hardcore, and SlipperyJim was the first guy to hardcore farm the 100 of X videos.
I haven't
on-
done
on
hardcore. It's
YouTube.
scary.
Or hardcore in a no life kind of sense, not actually hardcore mode.
Yeah, softcore's a lot more hardcore than hardcore
What-
because hardcore players are babies.
I
and
mean,
they hide
Methil
behind
is
walls.
The
Methil
word
is
you're
playing
looking
an
for
SC.
is no life.
Yeah, Baker, do you want to quickly tell the viewers where they can find you and what they can be hyped to see you doing in the next...
Twitch.tv/Baker.
Right,
Yes.
you get the Baker, you removed the life, you get the just B-A-K-E-R.
Yes, no life anymore.
That's so
Like
amazing.
me.
One day I want to have Catmaster. Or even Cat, just Cat.
But then you wouldn't be OP.
Cat. That's true.
Overprotective? Are we
Cooking
done?
channel.
Yep.
Well, we will have a cooking stream next Sunday. So wait, which is that?
Is that like a
13th,
sub
no,
goal or
yeah,
is that...
13th, right? Yeah. Oh, 14th. Sorry.
Time zones.
Real life support gen. Yes.
Uh,
Got rid of it. Put more DPS in.
all right. The question is, where do we cut the video?
Oh,
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Right
Bye, everyone.
now.
Thanks for watching. Hey, next Faded Connections episode will be like episode 31 will actually drag ahead because we need to catch up with the rhythm anymore again. Because if we do in 2 weeks, then it would be right the first day after league starts. So we're gonna
I'm not doing.
in the face of all the new trailers and bullshit teasers and information coming out, we're gonna do another episode with 2 new guests next week. Just to get different opinions and to discuss the new material as well. And then the episode after that will be 1 week into the league on the weekend, so that we're caught up with the rhythm and that we don't have to do a one-man podcast, because other than me, no one would do a podcast on the first evening or
I'll
first
do it.
Saturday
Let's
of the
do
month.
I want to make a podcast, except I tried it and it's very hard, so you need to help me.
Wait, what is your problem with it?
Conversation. People just don't talk and they sit there awkwardly. I'm like, you do this normally in Discord. What? Just do the same thing. I'm just starting to. I think I'm not sure about the recording legislation for like international over the internet, but if I just record without telling them and then edit it together as a podcast later on and then tell them then, it's probably fine, right?
Well, if you
I
get
think
all
you'd
their
need
permissions,
permission before
But
posting.
get permission
You
afterwards.
could
you get
record-
permission when it's done, but before you publish it.
Yeah, before publishing, you'd need to be like, "Hey, I put this together, and you're in it."
Yeah,
And you'd need
I'll do that
permission.
because they
Do
just
you approve?
otherwise they're just really awkward. They're like, I don't know.
But
You
then
didn't do this.
But if you put like 20, 30 hours into your compilation and then you send it to the people, and then they're going to be like, no, I don't want that. And then you're going to be
Well,
back
fuck
in
them,
the
I'll kick them
editing
from my
studio.
Discord. Sorry. I can't help myself. But hey, yeah, I had this great idea that my sister reminded me of where you do okay, I don't know if I should tell you this amazing podcast idea. You won't steal
Well,
it.
maybe,
because you
maybe
had-
tell us after we finish the podcast and the YouTube version. So, guys, check us out. We have the podcast on all the audio platforms on Balor's YouTube and live on my Twitch next weekend, which will be the Saturday, the 13th of June, 9 p.m. GMT again, and then every 2 weeks after that. So, yeah, make sure to check that out. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thanks again. Special thanks for Baker and SlipperyJim joining the podcast. There may have been some
Thank
short
you for having
notice
us. Or me.
confirmations. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Anytime, man.
And bye-bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.